And hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. This is the PlayOnSports.com pregame show live from the Woodland Community Stadium in Woodland, California. I'm Greg Cotta alongside Marcus Zamzow, and tonight's matchup features the visiting Davis High Blue Devils just from 13 miles down the road and the hosts, the Woodland Wolves. Now, Marcus, Davis is coming into this game 2-2, Woodland being 0-4. However, perhaps those two records don't actually really represent the skill of each team.
No, for sure. This is one of those classic crosstown rivalries. Like you said, they're 13 miles apart. In 2007, the rivalry got so heated that they actually put a hiatus on the game until this year. So we're here 4 years later. Woodland had the burn for that whole 4 years of that rivalry. They lost the last game and had to wait 4 years for tonight. So I think this crowd is going to be a little bit raucous tonight. We'll see what they can do against the Blue Devils tonight.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how the crowd plays into this. And like you said, with that many years, it's a completely different set of students now. However, everybody, it almost becomes probably a legend at some point of when the team used to meet, and now they're at it again. We just have a few more minutes for the pregame show, but let's see. Like we said, 0-4. Woodland lost two of their matchups by just a touchdown, and so with just a few different plays, Woodland could have a record identical to Davis's. So I kind of expect this matchup to really be equally matched, especially because this home crowd is really showing up here, and it looks like they are more than ready to go on against kind of the local rival.
Yeah, this is going to be a closer game than like you said, the records represent. There's no love lost between these two teams. Woodland comes out and plays hard in every single game. They're a really hard-hitting team. They got some big, strong kids. Davis is no joke either. They have the big passing game. They run that pistol. Both teams have a lot of different options in the way that they run their offense. Woodland is the shotgun spread. Davis is the pistol, and they're both kind of run heavy, more than usual for those types of offenses. So it should be a pretty hard-hitting, tough game tonight.
Yeah, I expect the same thing, and I also want to point out, like you said, with that spread offense, it's also a hurry-up offense, correct?
Yeah,
so
they call the plays from the sidelines, and the quarterback signals it in to his receivers and his line. He yells it out once they get to the line.
So the captains are going out to the middle of the field. We're going to be back in just a moment after we step aside for the anthem. You're watching PlayOnSports.com's broadcast, Woodland versus Davis. Keep it right here. We'll be back in just a moment. It's Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. And as you know, that is football night, especially here in Woodland, California. Greg Cotta alongside Marcus Zamzow. Looks like the Woodland Wolves are going to be receiving on this kick. They have 2 men back at this point, including number 7, Trevor Young, as well as number 3, Devin Jones. So as the cleats are getting comfy, people are getting settled in, we're going to have a kickoff here, and it's off. It's going to go deep and back to the far side of your screen. And that is going to be Young. Young is going to come up the middle. Pretty good blocking there, and he's going to get the ball at the 28.
Woodland's playing a lot tonight with a bunch of jack-of-all-trade guys. Trevor Young played receiver for the last 2 weeks, even with the club on his hand. There's a lot of injuries going on for the Woodland Wolves right now. Actually, both teams are a little banged up. Trevor Young was playing receiver for the last 2 weeks. He's their actual starting quarterback. He's back to quarterback tonight, even with the club on his hand. So we're going to take a look at that and see how that affects him tonight.
Yeah, so that club is going to be in the pocket a lot, as Young is going to take the ball up the middle just to himself. Or pardon, that was Devin Jones. Devin Jones coming up the middle. And it looks like he gained about 1 or 2 on the far side.
Looked like Brendan McDonald on the tackle, coming from his inside linebacker position.
So Woodland's receiving the play from the sideline, almost in a University of Oregon style with the big sign up, and a snap is going to come low, and it's actually picked up by number 33, Tanner Fellows. And Tanner Fellows looks like he's going to stay on his feet for quite a while there. Whistle finally blows the ball dead, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
Fellows kept his legs driving on that. He was able to get something out of nothing. He was very alert on that play. Caught that rolling ball out of there.
So here comes Young again. He's going to be in this pistol formation. Notice Devin Jones on the bottom side of your screen. That's exactly where he's going to look. And underthrown by about 5 yards, so it's going to be 4th and long. And I expect to see the punting unit here.
That was a little miscommunication by the quarterback and the receiver there. Looked like Jones was going long and Young was looking for the curl or the little out pattern.
So perhaps a little bit of chatter once both of them are finally on the sideline, which it's, like you mentioned, jacks of all trades. We're going to see, I don't know how much conversation time they'll actually have off the field, because usually one of them is playing.
Going to be spending a lot of time playing both ways tonight with all the injuries going on.
So the punt's going to go up and back to receive for Davis is Adam King. Adam King's going to get underneath it, and he's going to go to the far side of the field, 35-40, and all the way down to about the 46-yard line. Good return on his part.
Got a little speed going there from Adam King.
So we do have an injury here, and the ambulance is being waved onto the field right away. So we're actually going to step aside for this injury. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We'll give you an update. This PlayOnSports.com broadcast. We'll be back in just a moment.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
.316 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from
He
Dion.
took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just
Holy cow!
can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball. 12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons wins. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take. And there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac-Joaquin section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
Jacqueline Williamson. Her serve is over. Dug by Holt. Giblin going back to Holt near side. Cut shot. Kept alive. Back in one by Cathedral. And this one is out as Castanon Hill sends it wide. And the Cathedral Dons have won the title 16-14 in Game 5.
Thomas with the ball, swings it out to Norris. Cameron Taylor tried to block that one away. Norris with a strong take, blocked by B.J. Anya. Huge block. Robinson leading the break the other way, gets it to Grant. Slam dunk Jeremy Grant off the feed from James Robinson. What a play by the Stags.
Runner at third is Chavez. 8-2 the score. Bottom of the 7th. The 1-2. Popped in the air. This should do it. Cortopassi says it's mine. Now he's fading on it. And he can't make the catch, but Gaff comes in from center field and does. Congratulations to the St. Mary's Rams, a three-peat. They win it 8-2 against Franklin to take the series 2-0.
But this is time to run an offensive set that you've done all through the season in practice.
Yeah. And you also, you get it to your hottest player right now, just like they're getting into Eichhorst right here. He's going to try to create some space, find somebody on the backside that's open.
Eichhorst flush out to the right. Oh, breaks free of a player. Eichhorst on his own, shoots and scores, bounces a shot home. Coos can't handle the shot. Eichhorst takes off the shirt and the helmet. And how about that? Alex called it. Eichhorst, after sustaining the injury in the third quarter of play, has scored the game winner with 22 seconds gone in the overtime period. Dogpile on the field. Marin Academy take it. A fantastic finish to this game. And, well, I hope his other ankle isn't hurting after this.
Hancock to his immediate left. Two receivers far side, one near side. Hancock on a counter right side. He's inside the 10. He bounces off a tackler at the 10. The 5. Touchdown, Helix. And behind Hancock, the field is littered with white jerseys on the turf.
Wow. Hancock not to be outdone by his fellow playmakers on offense. Put on a show on that short 12-yard touchdown run. Looked like he was down after 3 yards, just threw a defender on the ground.
As sophomore Chris Carter sets under center. In their tight wing formation, Lycos in motion. Second back through is Freeman. Freeman just knocking people over. Look at him run, breaks through, 4 tackles, and now it's just a foot race to the end zone. And Freeman's going to go the distance. Touchdown Imperial on the first play of the second half. 2nd and 6 for Imperial from their own 47. They're going to give it to Freeman again off the left side. And Freeman gets by one wave and down across the 40-yard line. Still on his feet. Look at him run down to the 20-yard line. One man to beat. Gets by him. Touchdown, Freeman. How did he do that? Holy cow. 64-yard touchdown run. His 5th of the game. Royce Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see the top rushing. And as I look over to our partners at KXO Radio, the top rusher in the San Diego section for the next 2 years.
That's just amazing. That is just amazing. They hit him in the backfield. They hit him at the line of scrimmage. They hit him a couple yards downfield. They hit him again near the goal line.
Keep those Lowell fans quiet over there.
Lum sets it up for Pang. Long, it's out. Low, a magnificent 7 titles in the San Francisco section in dramatic style as they pull out a fantastic victory over a spirited Galileo Lions team. They win the 4th game, 31-29. And they take the 2012 Academic Athletic Association San Francisco section title.
Officials say no 5-second count can be started. Nobody was close enough defensively. Lyle's going to swing left side. Robinson. Here is a backdoor lob for Grant. They've been wanting that all game. And they got it, 50-42. They lulled you to sleep, and then they hit Grant on the back door.
They trail by 2. McMorrow's kick is on the way, and it is good. St. Augustine has their first lead of the game, 21-20, with 25 seconds to play. The senior McMorrow with a huge kick, not the longest of his career, but the biggest of his career. St. Augustine leads it 21-20.
Already lining up. They won't even have to run that one more play. They just acquiesce.
Why bother?
So there you have it. Your 5-time defending Division III champions, the Cathedral Catholic Dons, running up, over, and through Olympian 41-0 here from Qualcomm Stadium.
Patriots down 21-17. Great ball game here. Dillon taking it, looking right, throwing it up top to Gaines. It will be caught by Gaines. Oh my goodness. It looked like the defender had it, but Gaines stole it away from him. Jason Gaines, are you kidding me, my friend? Oh, boy. It looked like for sure we had an interception by the Tories, but as they both were going to the ground, Jason Gaines just wrestled it away from him. Shane Dillon to Jason Gaines on an 11-yard play.
Fanchen in the game, now out, replaced by Hayashi, the libero for defense. Wenzel serve. Championship point, ball up in the air. Hayashi's going to bring it back. Richards, deep one, over and 3. Free opportunity. Look for Wallace. No, they go Becker. Hayashi, then tap over and 2 by Hollingsworth. Now look for Wallace for the match.
Kathleen Wallace. No better way for the Bulls to finish it than giving it to their senior leader.
25-12, 25-15, and with 8 straight points to close out their 3rd straight D5 championship on a kill by Kathleen Wallace, 25-21 in Game 3. Branson has won the D5 title.
To the backfield, it's Hernandez and Northcutt. Set to throw is Thomas, has time, goes for the home run. It's intercepted in the end zone. Seemed like they tried to go to Martin, and Martin slipped. Stockton, Hilmar, and Escalon. That's going to do it, folks. Victory formation, take a kneel. The clock comes out. The clock will tick down. The players jumping up at midfield. I think I see a Gatorade. Did we have a Gatorade shower?
We most certainly did. Casey Taylor getting the shower there. Very much deserved.
Down to 12.
Great tackle there by Ronald Williams there to make the stop for Helix.
And the Helix fans are starting to celebrate here. This is going to be the final play. 5 seconds. Pow will hand it off. And they're going to get in the end zone. Touchdown. That's Keegan who gets in, but that's going to be the end of the ball game. 44-6 will be the score. So Oceanside scores on the final play of the ball game.
And gets a consolation prize just to make this is kind of say that, hey, we didn't get shut out.
So 44-6 is your score. And Helix is celebrating on the sideline. Oceanside streak of 7 straight championship games has been ended.
2 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock. Clock rolling, 3rd down and 15 for the Patriots. Dillon, he's got time, steps up. He's going to chuck it deep. He's got a man open. Seth Collins with a diving catch. He hauls it in at the 25. Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you right there. Dillon goes to show why he is a Division I prospect as he's able to step up, elude the pressure, see Collins down the field, and make the connection as I'll tell you right now, there has not been a bigger catch for Seth Collins this entire season.
Fans nervously wait on the far side. Trips right. Vernon, the lone receiver to the left. Troy Zine rolls right. Here we go. And he's going to be... Oh, he gets away, but can't get away from the second slew. Vacaville takes over on downs, and the crowd erupts. So does the sideline. Got to watch it. Got to watch the sideline here.
Yeah,
Remember,
really
they were up
stepped up.
35-26. 2 unanswered touchdowns. That's going to do it, folks. Your 2011 Division II Sac-Joaquin Section champions, the Vacaville Bulldogs. They win 39-35 in a
Although they have
classic.
no timeouts, they'll get the ball on the sideline, try to set something up. They can get a couple dribbles and a shot.
I tell you what, that was a gutsy call there by Coach Aguiar. Oh, what a shot! I tell you what, Javier Kirksey, from well beyond the three-point mark, takes the inbound pass, throws it up off the glass, and nails a three. And you've got the finish to this Cinderella story as the Ridgeview Wolfpack win the Division III boys title 43-40. And what
Caroline Martin to serve. Is third time the charm for Palo Alto. Martin over, dug by Irvin. Lauren, backside, Bedard, Ghani, long, and that's the ball game. And Palo Alto comes from behind. They were down 13-8 in Game 5. They win it 17-15.
Koenig, who will continue to play baseball at the next level. He is going to Central Arizona. About 45 minutes outside Phoenix and Coolidge.
This pitch is hit in the 5-5 hole. Nice grab and throw over to first base. Ori Wofford. Full extension dive to his right and gets Tillinghast by a step.
3-point game.
Down to 5 seconds. Wilson from straight away fires a three. Go! And that will send it to overtime as Wilson drains the three at the buzzer.
Straight on look, and he got it for that big bucket.
Jones, long outlet. January's got an opening. January with the left hand.
Can't leave him in a lane like that to the basket. He'll put it right through it. And that's what he did that time with the strong dunk.
He brought the house down with that one.
Now 2nd and 13 for the Dons from their own 24-yard line. Bogart's three-step drop now flushed out. He's rolling to his right. Looking downfield, lofts it to Hines. Hines with an amazing grab. Did he get that in bounds? He's still in bounds, running by himself to the 10-5 touchdown. Wow. Unbelievable catch. An Olympian defense thought he was out of bounds, and they just stopped playing. And Hines, with a headsy play, just sprints the other 30 yards into the end zone. And the Dons now extend their lead, 13 to nothing.
Jumper right at the elbow for Peters.
White with
Here
the
we
dish
go.
to Gordon. Phi Slamma-jamma.
I don't even think Valley Center will have to snap the football. They will not. Santana puts on a rush at the end. They travel 91 yards to make it a one-possession game. They try the onside kick. They almost executed it. But a Gatorade bath for the offensive coordinator for Valley Center. Congratulations to Coach Gilster and his staff. Valley Center is your winner in Division IV, 20-14 over
The unbelievable here with 2 outs. Probably our 25th full count of the day. Of course, it's going to be the pressure pitch here with 2 outs in the final inning.
Here it comes, full count. York delivers, pitches, swung on, grounded back to the mound. Will they go home? He fires down to first. It's scooped out. Did he get him? He did. Akalanis are the Division III champions of 2012. And what a game. And Johnny York is able to field the comebacker and fire down to Spencer Henderson in time to get Jonathan Wachtel for the 3rd out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Dog pile right in front of the pitcher's mound. And Akalanis take a 4-0 victory overtime with Pius, and what a game, Tom.
Maybe they just got to practice for their celebration.
Yeah, well, let's see if they can do it twice.
Oh, good serve.
They got to get their
by
head in
Kev.
the game.
Oh, what a save there by Fleet. Ooh.
It's
Is that
4. And there's your championship.
There it is.
And this time, Champion Christian.
A little less
so.
enthusiastic.
Well, this time they looked at the officials to make sure before they went to celebrate. And that'll just about do it. Here's Wilson, though. He's going to put up a 3, no good. Boy, if they did a couple of those, that might have made things a little interesting here in the last few seconds. But instead, the Stags are going to win it 74-64. DeMatha is your national division champion.
With time now for just a couple more plays. De La Salle will be awaiting the fate of the State Bowl Championship to determine their place in the final weekend of the high school football season as De La Salle, as time ticks down now to the end of this game, which is 30 seconds remaining, have won their 20th straight North Coast section title.
Maybe you get a first down, but then the clock's going to run thereafter.
Helix has brought in their speed rushers. They're going light on the line and sending everybody with speed, and they're chasing Hetherington. Pass is complete. Smith is going to get it out of bounds, but he's going to lose a yard. With 11 seconds now, 10. The clock continues to move. I'm surprised they didn't say out of bounds. They're making him get up to the line quickly. Del Oro is going to run out of time. That is the ball game. The Highlanders win it 35-24 to take the Division II championship. The California State Bowl game in Division II is complete, and the Helix Highlanders are your champion.
Chase Lanier was the injured player on the last play. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Cotta alongside Marcus Zamzow for PlayOnSports.com. So Davis High is getting right into the action. They're going to come up with their offense. We do apologize for the delay, but he is in the ambulance and he's doing okay. So here comes the run up the middle for Davis, and that is Winfred Roberson. Thank you. Yes.
I get rid of the T.
Yeah. So. Roberson's going to go up for about a carry of 7 on that play, so a solid run. But anyway, so there was a stop in our broadcast because of an injured player from Woodland, and he, like we said, he's right in the ambulance. I'm pretty sure, Marcus, I think you're the one who pointed out that his mom has joined in. You know, he looks like he's going to be all right. So glad he's getting the care that he needs. Here comes the motion, and that's going to be Roberson again up the middle, this time getting a first down. So that kid knows how to turn his legs.
Yeah, another two good tough runs right in a row for Roberson. We're going to be calling his number a lot tonight. They're going to ride him. He's their workhorse.
Grant Dickerson, the quarterback for Davis High, and he's understandable. Like you said, a lot of his job does include, as we get one last pass here from the ambulance with a "We Love Chase" chant coming from the crowd. So lots of support for him right now. Here comes a pistol formation for Davis High, and it's going to be a pitch to the outside. Roberson going to keep going. He's got the corner, able to get, wow, about a carry of 8 on that. On the tackle there for Woodland. It looked like Connor Wright, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, it looked like number 32, Brandon Olswag, was on there also.
Olswag being the one of the team's captains. So 9:39 on the clock in the first quarter, and the ball is on the opposing 33 or so. Again, Roberson deep, or in the back, and Hicks, the wide receiver, on the outside. And it's actually a run up the middle for the fullback. And that's a big run going 10 and all the way down to the 7-yard line. The fullback on that play is Joseph Duran. Or Duran, pardon me. And so with 9:21 on the clock, the ball's going to be on the 6-yard line, and Davis High is the first and goal.
Yeah, Davis runs that pistol offense. Usually it's more of a passing offense. They tend to run a bit. Both teams tonight are going to be a little bit more on the running side. It's going to be a pretty aggressive grinder game.
So out deep at the top of your field is Brett Bloomfield. But it's going to be right up the middle for Roberson. He's going to get stuffed in the backfield.
That was number 3, Tanner Fellows on that tackle. He got penetration, just got awesome contact on that one. Dipped his shoulder, good form on that tackle, got around his waist, scooped him up. Didn't look like too much yardage on that one, maybe a yard loss.
Yeah, around there. It's definitely around the line of scrimmage. So great breakthrough defense that didn't seem to show up already prior in this game. But then again, Davis did get to the goal line. Around the goal line. So 8:27 on the clock. Here comes Dickerson. He's going to run up the middle with Roberson waiting from the referees, and it is indeed a touchdown. So Roberson getting on the scoreboard early. 8:15 on the clock, and here comes the extra point unit.
Just looks like Davis is beating Woodland off the ball right now. Woodland's got to get a little bit more pep in their step, get off the ball. Davis is pushing them around a little bit on their defensive line right now. Another really good run by their workhorse, Roberson. Stout, strong kid.
As the Imperial March gets kicked up, the kick goes up, and it is indeed good. So 7-0 here. So, like I said, 8:16 on the clock.
Looked like the kick was no good.
Oh, my apologies. Sorry, that's what the signal was coming from here. Looked good on my angle. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. The work from the whole team giving me the big no sign. So 6-0 is the score.
And been seeing a lot of that this year in the games that we've done. There's been a lot of special teams mistakes going on, a lot of missed kicks, a lot of fumbled snaps. I think it was just a lot of the schools are coming in a little bit later than usual. They're not getting enough time to spend. They're worrying about more of their offense and their defense. They're not getting enough time to spend on their special teams. There's a lot of little minor things like that could end up biting them in the rear in the end.
So yeah, it's definitely a hard thing to coach, and it's a hard thing to learn. It's easily overlooked, but I guess if both teams are overlooking it, you aren't in too much trouble. So the kick is up for Davis High, and it's going to go back to the top of your screen. And here comes Woodland's kick. Again, that's Trevor Young, who received the last kick, and he's going to get a decent return there. Get about to the 25-yard line.
Coach Salinas is going to be looking a lot to Trevor Young tonight. He's going to be their jack of all trades. Plays a little bit of every position. He's even been on defense. He played, like I said earlier, he's been playing receiver with the club on his hand. Good athlete, good football guy. Knows a lot of the football aspect of it.
So the football player himself is going to hand it up the middle, and that's going to go to number 33 as flags are flying in, though, from the far side of the field. 33 being Tanner Fellows, also playing both sides of the ball tonight. Well, let's wait to hear from the referee. It's in the area of holding.
That's a good hard run by Fellows. He's a pretty stout kid, and along with Roberson from the other side. So we're going to see a bunch of hard hitting runners tonight. Drop your shoulder and get a couple extra yards after the contact.
Yeah, Tanner Fellows is actually a number I remember before the game. I saw him on the sideline, and just his build. He's built like a skill position player.
Powerful.
So Trevor Young's going to hand it again to Fellows, and Fellows is going to bumble his way past a few blocks, but a gain of a few, it looks like. So it's going to be second and really long, maybe about 17. 7:40 on the clock.
Oscar Sepulveda was one of the many Davis tacklers on that one. Good penetration by Davis on that last play.
So here's Woodland's hurry-up offense with a great spread. 4 wide receivers out, and he's going to Young is going to roll out, and he's going to throw downfield, and it is a diving catch. What a play there for Woodland. That comes from number 3, Devin Jones, on the catch.
That was a great pass on the run by Trevor there. He had to get everything behind that one to get it across his body to the sideline. That was he jumped in the air. Great pass by Trevor Young.
So here is Young now, and he's again coming from somewhat of it's a rather deep pistol, but a pistol regardless. He has Fellows lined up right behind him. Now 3 wide receivers out to the far side, 1 here on the bottom of your screen, and Young is going to roll out this time to the other side. Same play, opposite direction, and it is dropped.
Threw a bullet on that pass.
Yeah, that was definitely a laser.
Playing with that cast on his hand is going to be a little bit tricky. Because he's not under center, it's not going to be as big of a deal, but he's not going to always be able to have both hands on it. So he's going to have that good, like Ben Roethlisberger type grip on his hand for tonight. Keep that ball under control.
Now, I also noticed on that play, Brandon Flores was able to almost get the reception after the tip, but still nothing came out. Now here comes Connor Wright into motion, but flags are going to come flying. I think somebody jumped on that one. And indeed, that's the case. So Woodland's walking backwards. It's going to be second and longer.
Little false start.
So second and 15. Now, the delay between each play is very different from a huddle. We've kind of been talking about it. It is a hurry-up offense where the plays just come straight from the sideline. Young's going to drop back, and he's going to do the dump-off. And that is again going to be Tanner Fellows on the reception. So Tanner Fellows, as well as Trevor Young, seeming to be rather crucial to this offense.
Looked like they noticed Davis was pinning their ears back and coming, so they ran that quick screen.
So a good 5-yard gain. 6:29 on the clock in the first quarter. 6-0 is the lead for Davis. Young's going to roll out, and it's going to be a bubble screen that is just thrown short. So 4th and 10. Another tough break here for Woodland.
Looks like Marvin Grant got the pressure on that one, made a good quick move to the outside, and the offensive tackle just wasn't able to hang with his speed.
So punting for Woodland is going to be Brandon Flores, and back to receive for Davis is going to be Adam King. Adam King got a decent return on his last opportunity. And almost looked like he had the speed to break away. So let's see how this comes. Here comes the snap, and it's going to be a low punt bouncing out of bounds on the far side. 32-yard line looks like where Davis is going to get the ball. Now, last time, Marcus, it really seemed like Davis had no trouble running the ball all the way up the field.
Yeah, we got to see what Woodland can do. Try to settle in after the injury. That injury timeout took about 20 minutes. It's hard to see your teammate get injured like that. You saw his mom come off the field, and she talked to a couple of the players and just kind of tried to get him going a little bit. The coach was out there talking to him. After 20 minutes and seeing one of your guys go down, it's a little bit hard to get back in track. I think after one series or two series, they'll be back on track. Woodland's not going to go anywhere all night. They're going to be here. They're going to be here for the duration.
So under center now is Dickerson. Roberson going to get the ball again, and he's going to go with a right between the tackles, but this time he's stuffed. So the moment I start to credit their running game, they get stopped for a gain of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9.
The Woodland defense on that one had good flow. They saw the guards pull, and you could see the linebackers. As soon as the guards pulled, the linebackers followed them right to where the ball was going. That was a great play by Woodland's defense. Because Roberson is such a strong kid, he still, even after all that pressure, got 3 or 4 yards.
Right, so from what looked like, he definitely got hit at the line of scrimmage, but he was able to push it another 9 or 10 feet. So from the pistol formation is Dickerson. Dickerson's this time going to drop back and pass, or at least try to. Flags are flying, dead ball.
A lot of hankies flying tonight already.
Yeah, so referee is trying to establish their control early, and it's going to be a false start on Davis this time. So 2nd and 12 is what it's going to be. So Dickerson just got the play from the sideline, and he's bringing on Adam King, and going off is going to be number 45, Brendan McDonald. So looks like they're bringing out more skill set here. More of a King being a pretty quick guy, and he's going to be lined up in the slot on the far side. So here's Dickerson standing in shotgun, and he's just going to drop back. It's a good old pass, and it's going downfield. Kevin Sorensen, the attempted receiver, but couldn't quite get there in time.
Looked like Sorensen got behind the defense on that one. Looked like a little bit of a miscommunication on Woodland's defense. He got behind the defense, and Dickerson looks like he just put a little bit too much on it. Got out in front of him, got too excited, saw that green grass.
And that's definitely the advantage of having such a strong run game that just goes between the tackles all day, is once those defensive backs start to creep up, you can go over the top, and it looks like Dickerson has the arm to be able to handle that. So 3 wide receivers out on the bottom of your screen. And Dickerson's going to drop back to pass. Takes a big drop, and it's going to be a screen pass to Roberson. Roberson's going to get stopped just short of the first down, so it's going to be about 4th and 3 now for Davis.
That's just a little pass to Roberson. He came out of the backfield, did a little run fake, a little play action fake. And he came out of the backfield, had a little bit of blocking out there, able to get about 8 or 9 yards on that play. Just a little bit short. Looks like they're still going to go for it, though.
Yeah, so as there was definitely not a change in the roster, which means they plan on just probably going up the middle. So far, Roberson has had no trouble running between the tackles. I mean, even like we said, when he got hit on the line of scrimmage, he had no problem. It's going to him. He's going to get to the outside, and he has broken through, brought down by the secondary around the 50-yard line. And that was a statement.
Yeah, that was just, I'm coming at you. What can you do to stop me? And right now, Woodland's having a little bit of trouble answering the Blue Devils. Looks like their line, like I was saying a little bit earlier, their line is just getting off a little bit faster, getting under the Woodland defense a little bit, pushing them around a little bit, showing their muscle, flexing their muscle.
Yeah, there's definitely a dominance that's happening between the two lines. However, there have been moments where Woodland has seemed to be able to figure it out just right. And the game's still 6-0. 3:40 on the clock in the first quarter. Here's the pistol formation with 3 wide receivers as a bubble screen is attempted. And the attempted receiver there looked like Hicks.
Yeah, they just tried to sneak one in. That's a tricky play to the short side of the field. They were on the more narrow side of the field. They put the 3 receivers down there. Just tried to get a little quick play and see what could happen. Try to get them into some open field down there, get some blocking.
So the clock stopped at 3:30 now after that incomplete pass. Dickerson's going to get the play from the sideline, and he's got his handy-dandy cheat sheet there. 2nd and 10 now after that incomplete. Here comes the pistol again. And a lot of options here, and flags are flying, perhaps an illegal motion. Or no, indeed, it was a delay of game on the Blue Devils, so they took a little bit too much of their sweet time now. So that's going to make it 2nd and 15.
When you run a complicated offense like the pistol, there's so many different options. Sometimes it's hard to get the play in and get everybody going on the same page at the same time.
So it looks like Woodland's going to keep their 3 down linemen. But they like to have some blitzing outside linebackers as well. But Davis has plenty of receivers out. Here's Dickerson dropping back to pass, and he's going to throw downfield way over the top of his wide receiver. So that's going to make it 3rd and long.
He's trying to get that to Brett Bloomfield. He went up just, if he was about 6'3", he could have maybe jumped up and got down.
Maybe. 3:25 on the clock now.
Again, we saw Dickerson's arm. He's putting a lot of pepper on that ball tonight. I think he's fired up about this rivalry game.
Well, yeah, it's like we said, it's a good opportunity. These two teams are not, specifically these students are not used to meeting. It's not a rivalry game that they can, that like I said, it's almost like it's a rumor, it's a legend. It's one that hasn't existed for 5 years in a 4-year environment. Dickerson dropping back, and he's going to go deep downfield. Both toes in, but a flag is flying. So I saw that as a catch. However, we're going to have to hear from the referees to get a proper reading on this.
That was an outstanding catch by C.K. Hicks, number 88. He was that was pro style. He dragged both feet on that one, sold his body out, reached out, dragged both feet. That could have been good for the pros, not only in high school and college where you got to get 1 foot in.
Yeah, so we're waiting to hear from the referee. I see the referee is currently telling Woodland to step away from the field, as it looks like perhaps he felt that in that scenario with wide receivers coming to the outside, perhaps there's not quite enough breathing room for helmets to become flying in.
The sideline ref gets tied up by some of the kids when they start creeping up. That's a constant battle for the coaches to keep their kids back. They want to get the best view, see what's going on out there.
So the referee still, I believe he's listing this as a warning. So this time Dickerson's going to be under center. Only he's going to go back to Roberson. Roberson finds a huge gap to the left side, and he's able to rumble his way all the way to what's looking like the 17-yard line.
Again, the Blue Devil offense got off a little bit faster again, just made that nice hole. They drove their legs a little bit. Looked like there was a bit of a stalemate, but they were able to get position, made room for Roberson to bust that 11, 12-yard run.
Yeah, we definitely had a good angle on that one. I could see the hole from here, and that's not always the case when we're broadcasting up at the top of stands. So 1st and 10 with 2:56 on the clock. Dickerson going to go back to Roberson. Same play to the left side, this time for about a gain of maybe 3 or 4, depending on the spot.
Just a good, hard-running kid. Looked like number 33, Tanner Fellows, one of Woodland's best players. He's been getting in on a lot of tackles so far tonight. He's coming in, reading the play and coming in aggressive. But still, Roberson, even after making contact, he's getting 3 or 4 yards of carry, if not 12 or 15.
Yeah, he really has that downhill running style, which, when you hit him, it's just starting the tackle. It's never ending the play. So 2:15, Roberson going to go this time to the right, and he's going to break through 5, end zone perhaps. And no, they are going to call the ball at the 1-yard line. So I from here I couldn't see the spot. It was definitely close though. I mean, we're talking inches.
Yeah, they must have seen him drag his knee, or he must have put a hand down or something.
Yeah, the referee must have had
pretty close though.
A specific look at that ball, and I mean we are a hairline away from the end zone here. So the Blue Devils now, it looks like they are having a very honest offense. Roberson in the backfield, but a fumbled snap. Dickerson's going to take it in himself after the fumble, and that is a touchdown for the Blue Devils.
Tried a little fumble-rooski there. Fumble, pick it up, and go.
A heads-up play on his part.
Heads up, quick feet, quick hands, just lean forward. Hope you lean into that, whatever it was, a foot that
right.
they needed. That's really hard to defend when your hand is on the goal line. The tip of the ball is almost there, too. It's hard to defend that against any offense or defense.
Yeah, definitely something There was absolutely no wiggle room on that play. So here's the kick, and this time I'm going to make sure, and yes, it is good. So 13-0 with 1:46 on the clock in the first quarter. And right now, between both teams' run game and pass game, even their defenses, it seems like the only dominance we've seen so far is Davis High's running game.
Yeah, they've been running hard all night. It's only the end of the first quarter, but they've gotten a good rhythm going. We need to see if Woodland can get a rhythm going with their spread offense. They tend to run a little bit more out of that spread. They do it from like we were talking about before, they do it from the sideline. They make the call from the sideline, make the call on the line. That could help wear out the defense, but it can also cause a little bit of confusion. Hard to get a rhythm when you do that for the offense too.
Yeah, definitely a rhythm game here, especially because, like we said, after a long injury timeout, players making sure to stay warmed up and on the sidelines, But like you said, after a few drives, those are the kind of things that you start to remember where you are and why you're here, and lots of opportunity. Back to receive for Woodland is, again, Devin Jones and Trevor Young. Trevor Young with 2 return kicks so far, both of them for decent yardage. So here's the kickoff, and again, it's going left. Trevor Young's got the ball. 15, 20, 25, and a flag is going, 2 flags on the far side of the field, but Young is still on his feet, pushed out of bounds. Looked like we had a little extracurricular activity over here on this side of the field.
Little wrestling match down here on the bottom of the field. Trevor Young is really effective with that big old club on his hand. He can catch that ball and tuck it away. He's tucking it away in the non-club hand, but he's been catching it with that big old thingamajigger on his hand.
Yeah,
I guess playing receiver for 2 weeks made him able to catch it.
Yeah, no, those casts definitely don't have any give. A ball is going to gladly bounce off of that. So the referees are picking up both their flags, and it looks like it is moving backwards. I'm just going by the body language, and indeed, so there was a unnecessary roughness call on the far side of the field, and you'll sometimes see the
holding.
So it was holding, but
wrestling,
holding, being pinned down. It's officially being called a holding call. So here is Young, and in motion is Wright. So Young is going to throw over to the far side of the field to Wright, and that's an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
Both quarterbacks got definitely good arms. You're seeing a lot of good, not the rainbow throw, but a lot of zip on the ball. They're putting their whole body behind it. They both throw a nice ball, nice tight spiral, nice zip on the ball.
So 1:32 on the clock, and that's going to be 2nd and 10. The penalty was on the kickoff, and a fumbled ball. It was fumbled by Joseph Duran, number 44 for Woodland. But it looks like he was able to get on top of it, so heads up on his part. Minute 19, 3rd and long.
It looked like a little bit of maybe miscommunication, not a clean handoff on that one. Didn't give him a big basket. He's got to get his, give him a big target to put it into. Kind of gave him the shoulder rather than the belly.
So this play looks rather similar, and Young's going to drop back to pass, and he is looking to the far side of the field. It is rainbowed out there, but leagues ahead of his receiver, so that's going to make it 4th and 10, and Woodland's offense is officially having trouble.
Yeah, that was about a 35-yard bomb from Trevor. He's definitely got the arm for it. He's just got to get the 4.2 speed receivers out there so they can get under that ball.
So 55 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. Davis High showing a lot of dominance. However, it's always a long game here. So back to punt again is Adam King. Back to receive the punt. And it's going to take a bounce before it gets to him, and he's going to let it roll past. So good coverage by Woodland. Looks like there to get on top of the ball is Devin King, as well as number 73, Robin Holtree.
Got a Woodland bounce on that. Got an extra about 7 yards on that once it hit the ground.
So Davis is starting from right about where they have been starting for most of the game, whether it's been a punt or a kickoff.
Woodland's going to have to start putting some pressure on there to start tightening down the gaps.
No. 3 down linemen, as we mentioned, but a lot of rotating linebackers that really seem like they're kind of playing a rover position where they like to make sure that they fill in the gaps. So here's Dickerson, Roberson behind him in the pistol, and Dickerson's going to drop back, and he's going to throw to the far side, and that's going to be caught. C.K. Hicks is going to go for the first down.
That was a nice pass by Dickerson coming under pressure. Had a blitz coming from the outside, and he saw it coming, nice and relaxed. Again, put that zip on the ball, got it out of there quick.
Yeah, so it was either going over to Hicks on the far side was either, a later option, or he was just, fooling the defense. But still, like you said, composed in the pocket. 26 seconds on the clock now, and it's ticking down. So we're only going to have a few more plays here in the first quarter. 13-0 is the lead here. 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side for Dickerson. And the referee's blowing a whistle, and Woodland High is going to use a timeout.
Looked like there was a little confusion on the defense. There was a lot of movement going on the offense. The defense didn't look like they were reacting properly to it, so coach is going to have a little chat with his boys.
So here's the conversation in the water, and it looks like number 3 for Woodland High, Devin Jones, was a little bit slow to get up. However, he seems like he's doing fine, maybe just a cramp or something. 6 seconds now, so Woodland called a timeout just before, so we're going to have one more play here.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Woodland getting out to the field a little bit earlier than Davis, so Davis using that timeout to their advantage a bit. So I noticed Davis High bringing in a fullback of Brendan McDonald. And that's because he's going to be leading the blocks. And here comes Roberson. Roberson is going to break 3-4 tackles, and he fumbles. However, it looks like it was picked up by McDonald on that play, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. 13-0 is the score here, but it's still a close one. Davis showing dominance with its run game.
Number 33, Tanner Fellows, came up hard as Roberson was going down. He put a good thump on him and caused that loose ball. Number 45, Brandon McDonald was able to get on it. Brendan McDonald, I apologize.
Yeah, Brendan McDonald really looked like he was in the right place at the right time, because that fumble really could have changed this momentum completely.
Yeah, it was bouncing around out there for a little while.
Now, our stats here were not necessarily showing heights and weights, and we do apologize for that. However, it's safe to say that both of these teams have really big guys on both of their lines.
They got a couple stout players. Good, solid size running back kids. Not super tall, but just well-built, athletic football guys. They're built like football players.
Yeah, they definitely have that football build. We were talking about that a bit earlier.
Low center of gravity.
And it's really, it's really different. Everybody's played pickup games and stuff, and different sizes of people. But when you actually have to get past 5 giant people, your job is a lot more difficult, and that's how it is for both defensive lines here.
Yeah, you want to have the lower pad level, stronger legs. Just try to get the drive. Try to keep your legs going.
So the clock's set for 12 minutes now as we start the second quarter. Davis now heading to the left side of your computer screen. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to PlayOnSports.com's YouTube broadcast. And Dickerson out of the pistol, and it looks like there was Woodland, number 26, Blair Farnham, was trying to read the snap, but I think he got caught in the neutral zone.
See if he was. Oh, nope, he wasn't brought off by one of the offensive guys. He was trying to time that snap, like you were saying. Just got there a little bit early.
Yeah, he really, it's kind of funny. I mean, he came in from the safety. It looked like he really knew exactly what he was going to be doing. He was just a second too early. Perhaps Dickerson saw him coming and threw an extra hut in there. So only a few seconds ticked off. It's going to be now 1st and 5, 11:57. And out of a strong I formation, it's going to go to the left side. And there is Roberson pounding through, easily getting the first down. That kid knows how to churn.
Yep, Roberson just carried the pile now, and 3 or 4 guys are on his back, and he still just kept his legs grinding and just drove right for another 4 or 5 yards after the contact again. They're going to have to get down on his hip pads, try to stop his legs from churning.
And that's kind of the thing. Like we said, Roberson, you mentioned quite a strong kid, and he's, you know, he doesn't look that tall, especially from here, but it doesn't matter when you're that big. So, same formation, but another fumbled snap. And, oh, my apologies, Dickerson's able to get the ball. That was an amazing play. He gets down to the goal line. Holy cow, he bumbles the ball, and then magically, I think he just teleported with it. I don't actually know what happened.
The defense was looking past. They were still in pass coverage. They didn't see what was going on behind them. They kind of turned their shoulders, and he just snuck behind the dropping defense. Got a little bit of lucky blocks in there. Guys were just trying to do their regular pass block, and he snuck by as everyone was kind of dropping back. It looked like great heads-up play by Dickerson.
Yeah, it definitely was not a designed quarterback run, but he was able to stay underneath it as he sends motion over to the right side. Roberson going to walk into the end zone. That is his 3rd touchdown of the game. So 19-0, here comes the kicking unit, 10:51 on the clock in the 2nd quarter.
Kicking unit's getting a little bit of extra work in tonight so far. Another stout run by Roberson. Got a little fire in his belly tonight.
Yeah, Roberson seeming to have really no trouble when he's running between the tackles. So here's the kick now for Davis. Thomas May kicks it up. And he also gets hit onto the ground, it seemed, but that is no good. So 19-0 is the score. He's 1 for 3 on his extra point. However,
he may have just been reacting to the kick.
Oh, I see. So, yeah, I see a kicker on the ground, and I'm looking for yellow, but definitely not the case here. So 19-0 is the score, 10:51 on the clock. And huddles are starting up on both sidelines. Okay, so here is the unit now coming out for the kickoff. Like you said, the special teams getting some extra work tonight. Same receivers back for Woodland. They, too, have been getting a lot of opportunity, including Trevor Young and Devin Jones. Trevor Young doing the quarterback work as well as returning 3 different kickoffs, or even 4 so far today.
And getting some good yardage on these kickoffs, too.
Yeah, a jack of all trades, like you said. Kind of the term for him for the night.
There's a lot of two-way players going tonight.
Yeah,
See
so
how the
Thomas May is going to squib it. However, it looked like he had, perhaps Davis was looking for the ball, and a skirmish is coming out, or kind of a bit of a, looked like a rugby scrum in there. A little bit of extracurricular activity, but no flags are pulled. 10:46 on the clock.
That was a good heads-up play by number 4, Augie Aiden. He was one of the mid-back guys, and he just kept his eyes up, didn't drop back for the blocking too fast. They try to sneak it behind those guys if they drop back too quick. That was a good heads-up play. Good discipline by Aiden.
So here's the shotgun formation now. No backs with Young. It looks like he's just going with 5 wide receivers, but he's going to run it, and he is stopped before the line of scrimmage. That might be ruled a sack. Good defense by Davis.
Yeah, that was a design draw. They were just trying to spread everybody out, try to spread the defense out and leave Young the option to just try to sneak into a hole. But deep, like you said, the Davis defense just closed that gap super fast.
Zach Slavich in on the tackle on that one, as well as several other Blue Devils, and Woodland is going to use their second timeout. 10:23 on the clock, 19-0 is the lead.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news, information, and links to great highlights. Follow us on PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOn Network. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So 2nd and 11 after that design quarterback draw, and it was good to see him try something different. You know, I mean, I know I was thinking pass all the way with 5 wideouts, but it didn't seem like they were fooling Davis.
Yeah, they were just trying to, test the waters with the run, just see if they could spread him out and sneak in through a hole. But Davis read that really well. Davis has been really disciplined tonight. I think their coach got into him a little bit this week, Coach Smythe. They had a rough game against Rio Americana last week.
Right.
Really close game. They had a chance at the end and ended up, dropping a pass in the end zone. And it was just a disappointment. I think that, this whole week of practice has been a grinder for them. They've been really focused. They said it's the best week of practice they've had in a long time.
So now here's the play from the sidelines. Again, 5 wideouts for Young, except one's going to be brought up the middle, and they're going to try a draw again. Young Houdini's through the pack. 9 or 10 yards. Looks like he's going to be just short of the first down, though, 3rd and short.
They brought Joseph Duran in from his receiver position to try to lead Young that time, give him a little bit of extra protection coming in. Looked like he bounced to the backside of that play. It looked like he was supposed to follow Duran, but he bounced to the backside. Just saw a little window of opportunity there and snuck through.
And I like to see the coach decide to go back to the exact same play. A nice run up the middle. Let his offense know that's going to work. Young's going to run again to the outside, and he's shooting for that first down marker, and I don't know if he got it, but there's also a flag in the backfield, and it's going to be holding against Woodland.
Definitely holding. There was a blitzing Blue Devil that came through. He basically got tackled by one of the Woodland Wolves. I think that was number 44, Joseph Duran again with the block. I think that was a decision between either I let him go by and maybe get my quarterback hit, or I just make that play and just tackle him and just go with the yardage.
Yeah,
sometimes that's a little tricky.
Sometimes you kind of got to hope the referee's just not watching on that one, but
referee
perhaps he was
sneezed or something during that play.
Yeah, perhaps he was
Closed his
saving
eyes.
Trevor Young's life, because that was a quick blitz coming from his blind side. Sometimes you just take the penalty and you go with it. 3rd and 20, though. 9:44 on the clock as the play comes in from the sideline. Trevor Young, 5 wideouts again. This time we're going to see motion again to the middle. He's going to drop the snap, and he's going to pick it up, and he is stuffed in the backfield by several Blue Devils, but specifically number 45, Brandon McDonald.
Yeah, the Blue Devils just pinned their ears back on that one. They brought the house. McDonald was able to get through. He was one of 2 or 3 guys that got through right away, just untouched. Looked like they got off the ball a little bit faster than Woodland did.
So we're going to see the punting unit now for Woodland for the 4th time this game. 9:19 on the clock in the 2nd quarter.
Another little bobbled snap back there. It looked like he got his eyes off the ball as it was coming to him.
And perhaps that is that hand that we've been discussing as the punt goes back deep. But it's actually going to stay in play. Coming down the sideline now, the Blue Devils, Adam King, is going to make it all the way to past the 50-yard line. So it looked like the ball was going to bounce out of bounds. Then it looked like King was going to step out of bounds, but he was able to stay on the sideline the whole time.
Yeah, it looked like he caught that one in stride. It bounced right into his hands, and he'd found a little bit of green grass coming down the sideline. It looked like Woodland was trying to go more towards the middle on their coverage, left the sideline open. He was able to get, I think he started on the 25. He was able to get 25 yards off that.
As the referee actually is going to call a penalty against the Blue Devils.
I think they're a little celebration penalty, I think. Maybe talking a little bit.
Yeah, perhaps some unkind words were shared to the Woodland sideline, and referees aren't going to handle that. Remember, there's the history of this rivalry got out of hand, and that's why they stopped it for 5 years. They're now playing again. Maybe the referees are coming in knowing that they want to stay in control of this game early.
Very conscious of the chipper chatter that's going back and forth, a little trash talk, a little extra celebration.
So Dickerson in the pistol now with a 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line or so. But waiting for word from the referee. 9:01 on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. As the referee repeats his penalty.
Just had to explain to the defensive coaches what the penalty was all about.
So the defensive coach is sitting up in the booth right now. Dickerson said he's going to hand a ball to the far side, and this time it's going to be Kevin Sorensen. And he gets a nice gain there, maybe 4 or 5 yards.
Usually Sorensen's up in the receiver position. I think he came across, on a little sweep action. He had 92 yards in passing or in receiving last week, with the touchdown thrown in there. A lot of versatile players on both of these teams.
So a strong I formation is going to the outside, and this time it's going to go to the fullback who just flattened to safety.
That's number 45, Brendan McDonald. He's one of those stout kids that we were talking about. He's got that low center of gravity. He's going to bring those low pads and just blast people when he comes to the line. You got to be ready. You got to have your helmet strapped on when you come up against these guys. Another hanky down on the field.
And it's coming backwards. So on that run, though, I believe it was Connor Wright who was in the secondary. And if the play counted, he would have been credited with the tackle, but he kind of got tackled.
He just threw his body in front of him, held on, and hoped for the best.
So it's going to be second now, and after the spot of the penalty, it's going to be about 12 yards. Now 4 defensive backs in. It's pretty standard formation there for Woodland, as they have a lot of their athletic players just lining up on the outside. It's going to be a pass that's dropped back off his back foot, and it is caught. C.K. Hicks is going to bumble, stay alive, stays on his feet, 30-yard line, and that was just a lob pass in the air. It rainbowed out of sight. Hicks came down, though. Great catch.
That was a great catch by Hicks. Dickerson was on his back foot, threw off the back foot, just kind of hung it up there for Hicks to come and get. And then there was 4 or 5 guys on Hicks, and everybody just thought the other guy was going to make the tackle, and he got an extra 10 yards again.
So
just tough offense by Davis. They're just not giving up on anything. They're going for the extra yardage every single time, just not stopping.
Yeah, strong effort. 7:23, 19 points on the board already. 3 touchdowns coming from Roberson. And the ball's going back to him. He's going to sweep to the left side. Solid run, gain of about 4.
Yeah, Woodland's starting to key on Roberson a little bit. As soon as he's getting the ball, they're sniffing it out, getting after him. But he's such a strong kid. He's a 300-pound-plus bench guy. One of those big weight room guys. For a junior or a senior in high school, that's a big number. He's a junior, so that's a pretty big number that he's putting up. He's a big, strong kid. Yeah, you can't tell with these dark pants, but his legs are big.
Yeah,
he's got some thunder thighs on him.
And that's got to be intimidating as an offensive lineman when the guy you're blocking for can outbench you.
Yeah.
So Dickerson in shotgun. He's going to drop back to pass, looking left, and he has a target over the middle, but that throw, he had his receiver, but it wasn't quite there.
Yeah, he had a little bit of happy feet on that. There was a little bit of pressure coming through from the Woodland defense. Looked like he didn't set his feet all the way on that one. Threw a little bit off balance and just hung it over his receiver's head. Looked like he was going for Adam King again.
Adam King showing his athleticism, particularly in special teams. 6:32 is on the clock in the second quarter. So Davis is huddling up right now, and they're probably discussing maybe what went wrong on that play. Maybe Dickerson just kind of saying, hey, sorry, but we got this.
Give me a little bit more time.
So pistol formation, dropping back to pass, and he's going to go to the far side, and again overthrowing his receiver, but this time Brett Bloomfield was the attempted receiver. It's going to be now 4th and 6.
That was outstanding. We were just talking about give me some more time. Outstanding protection by his offensive line. Woodland tried to do a line stunt, and their offensive line and I think one of the running backs came up and filled in and just had perfect protection. He just got a little bit too much arm on that ball again. He's been overthrowing his receivers a little bit. I think the excitement of the rivalry game, trying to get it going, he's just got a little bit too much energy. He's throwing it deep.
And in the meantime, a timeout was called. And the referees are currently taking notes on this. 6:27 on the clock. And Water and Huddles on the sideline. This has been a very physical game.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
So, kind of a long timeout here, but again, both teams are really doing their best to utilize this. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is Davis High's first fourth down. First fourth down, with the exception of once when they went for it on fourth down. But really, this is the first time that we may see the punting unit, but I don't even know if they're going to bring it out.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to need to down here. Maybe the field goal unit
right
from down here.
Thank you.
I think with the way they've been running, they'll maybe give it to Roberson with a little bit of blocking and just let him go for it. He's been dropping that shoulder and just driving his legs. 6 yards will be nothing for him tonight, right?
Right, so pistol formation, 3 wideouts at the top of your screen, and it's going to be a pass. Roberson picking up a great block, jumping catch for Hicks. Touchdown. No touchdown is being called. It looks like it was just short. So it's actually going to be at the 5. So my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I misread my field lines, but
we're down here with the crowd tonight. Our broadcast is coming in from sitting right behind the seating of the crowd, so we don't have the best view. There's some bodies spread out all over the place. That was an outstanding, again, good protection for Dickerson. Hicks went up again, just great jump, great catch.
So motion is being called, and Dickerson is going to hand it to his main man. Roberson is going to go into the end zone. 4 touchdowns for him today, 5:57 on the clock in the second quarter.
Looks like Woodland's getting some hits on him, but he's just, he's so strong, he just runs through the arm tackles. They need to start getting some bodies on him. They're reaching out, and he's just running right through those arm tackles. I think fatigue's starting to set in a little bit for Woodland. They're grinding right now. The defense has been on the field a lot. There's some pretty big bodies out there. This early in the season, it's hard to stay on that field for so long. And it's still a little bit warm. It's cooled down just a little bit tonight, but it's been hot all day. It seems like Davis is just kind of, their offense with the no huddle just kind of wearing on the defense right now.
Right, so 25 points on the board as they go for number 26 here. Had some trouble in the extra point unit, but that is a great kick, and it is in. So 26-0 here. Dominance is really being shown by Davis High. 5:57 on the clock.
Yeah, Davis is in a good rhythm right now. Their offense is in a rhythm. Dickerson needs to calm down a little bit. He needs to put just a little bit less on some of those balls. He's got such a strong arm. He's overthrowing a few of his receivers, but the rest of the game is just going so smooth for him. It's not that big of a concern yet.
As the pep band kicks up here, still plenty of people in the crowd here. 26-0 again. 5:57. We're only in the first half. As I notice a flugelhorn in the band section. Not something you see every day, but I am impressed by that.
Love being behind the band.
So Davis's kicking unit's been on the field almost a little bit more than their defense.
Yeah, the few defensive only guys for Davis are got to stay stretched out over there. Got to stay warmed up.
So same team to return for Woodland, and again they have had good success, like a solid amount of success on their returns. But it's going to be an onside kick again, squibbed to the corner. Same result, number 4 for Woodland. Augie Aiden going to get past everyone except just a few more down the sideline. They are going to think twice before kicking to him again.
Yeah, that's the second time Aiden's really been good. Last time he just pretty much covered it. This time it looked like Davis was slowing down a little bit, thinking he was just going to take a knee, and he just broke down the sideline. That was great speed. You see the speed from these guys. Good hard run by Aiden. Looked like a saving tackle by number 85. We don't have a number 85 on here, so I'm making
And
making up numbers. Sorry. That was a great touchdown saving tackle by one of the Davis players. I didn't catch his number.
Yeah, I was actually looking for 85 myself. Remember, there still is a possibility that there is a number 85 that we don't know about. But looks like a penalty is going to be coming back in the area of holding. So because of the spot of the penalty, most of that run, if not all of it, is going to get taken back.
All of it plus
tough break there.
10, it looks like. Seems like Woodland can't catch a break right now.
So it looks like that's actually going to be a block in the back. And that's not something that a referee is going to take lightly, especially in a rivalry game. So back at the 35-yard line is Woodland. Still decent field position. 4 wideouts. 3 on the near side of the screen. And Young is going to drop back and hit. Oh, there was a huge hit coming from Davis High. That was number 11, Amari Hayes. On the reception was Augie Aiden.
He's got to settle down a little bit. That little running celebration that he's doing and looking at the Woodland sideline, there may be a flag coming. The ref's telling him right now, son, you just did your job. You don't need to celebrate that much. That was a great hit, though.
Right, a great hit, and he's definitely enjoying it. Run up the middle here for Woodland. And that was Tanner Fellows again. And when he's had the ball in his hands, he's done a decent job. But being behind by 26 points, it's hard to decide to establish a run now.
Yeah, they're just trying to get something going, try to get their offense going in some form right now. Just try to get a rhythm going before the half, so they can maybe get a score before the half.
So just under 5 minutes on the clock, as Young hands it this time to his fullback, and that's going to be Joseph Duran, also having a pretty good game.
Just didn't have any space on now, and he thought he saw a hold of the outside, but the Davis Blue Devils are closing really fast. They've been a little bit faster than Woodland all night long.
Yeah, so speed being shown on both of Davis's lines. Their defensive line seems to be getting right off the line on the snap. 4:22, the clock continues to tick down. And here comes another punt for Woodland, this time again returned by Adam King, but he's going to let it bounce a few times. Good coverage, and the ball is going to be around the 33-yard line.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoffs and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
So 4:07 is where the clock has stopped. And the Woodland High defense looks ready as they have a pretty consistent formation. They haven't really been changing things up against this run game, perhaps sneaking up a little bit with their secondary. And indeed, it's going to be a run up the middle. Roberson, though, going to get stuffed, maybe about a gain of 1 or 2.
Looked like Blair Farnham on that play. Came through, got low that time. Wasn't able to get, Roberson wasn't able to get his legs going. They took his legs out that time, got him down pretty quick. It got about 2.5, 3 yards on that run. That's where they're going to have to get him, not necessarily chop his legs out, but just wrap on his legs. He's such a big, strong kid upper body-wise. He can just run through arm tackles.
Now, I want to point out Isaac Paisano on the defensive line, usually where Roberson has been running, been having trouble. Roberson going to get nailed there after about a gain of just 2 or 3. It looks like maybe Woodland's starting to catch on to this run game.
Looks like they have number 8 as the running back. Is that 8? Yeah, we don't have a number for number 8, or a name for number 8. They're bringing in some of the other guys.
Yeah, perhaps
they put number 8 in for. Oh wait, sorry, that's Wally Perez. No, that's not. Jeez, Louise, I got the wrong sheet.
No worries. Yeah,
we don't have a number 8 for Woodland.
We do not have a number 8. No, that's actually funny because I looked for the same thing and concluded I had the wrong list, but no, that's a wrong number. So here comes an end around for Davis High. 40-yard line. What a run. I'd say for a good 20, 30 yards. And that was Kevin Sorensen on the run again.
Just a quick pitch to Sorensen. Got around the edge, had some good blocking on that, and just used the speed to get to the outside edge.
And again, Sorensen, one of those players that just seems like he's built like a football player. He's got those square shoulders, and when he turns upfield, he's kind of a freight train. 2:25 on the clock. Davis nearing striking distance, trying to already add on to this big lead, and that's going to be Roberson up the middle. And again, falling forward, but it looks like Woodland is scrumming for a ball. Nope, Roberson held on to it.
Did he change jerseys?
He did change jerseys indeed. As remember you mentioned before, he's actually also has a number 22 jersey, and unless there is somebody who isn't on their roster who can run exactly like Roberson, I'm pretty sure that's him.
Last week he was number 22. He came out early in the game as number 2. Now he's 22 again. He's trying to play with our emotions here.
Right, he wants the jersey to be fashionably late, you know. So that's going to be a screen pass to the outside, and that's going to be Hicks, who's going to break 2-3 tackles. And a big body finally coming out of bounds around the 25-yard line.
Another great athletic play by Hicks. He's built more like a running back than a tall, lanky wide receiver type. He's a little bit more stout, but he's had some really nice catch and runs tonight. Nice little spin move there. He had some good blocking by number 33, Tanner Fellows. Got a little help from him. Had blocked 2 guys on one play. He was able to get outside and just break.
So because he was pushed out of bounds, the clock is going to stop at 1:24. And now here is Dickerson going to be in the pistol formation again. He's going to call Hicks into motion. And that's the direction he's going to look in, but he's actually going to go over the middle again, leading his receiver a little bit too far. Kevin Sorensen, the attempted receiver on that play.
And Sorensen is one of those guys that's probably about 6'2", but Dickerson just, overthrowing him just a little bit tonight. He's got to, just get it down just a little bit. He's throwing a beautiful ball, but it's just a little bit too much arm in it.
Yeah, even like, you'll see him kind of drive it off that back leg. He's really getting into the throw. He's trying to boom it down there, but it doesn't seem like it's quite on target.
Needs to get just a little bit more touch.
Right, so I'm sure that'll be part of the discussion. I mean, when the coach decides to criticize his team after a 27-0 lead, that might be what he talks about. So here's Dickerson. He's going to drop back deep, and he's going to go right back to Sorensen. Gain of about 3 or 4.
Just trying to get Sorensen in some open field over there and just let him catch it and run. They probably got about 4 or 5 yards on that. With that type of play, they're just trying to get their athletic receiver, just get him the ball and see what he can do. See if he can break a couple tackles. That time there was some pretty good defense by Woodland.
So Davis is going to use their second timeout with 1:08 left in the first half.
Play on Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news, information, and links to great highlights. Follow us on Play on Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So as the timeout continues here, like we've said, 27-0. Stay tuned, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We will have a bit of report at halftime, and then we'll, of course, have the second half, followed by our post-game recap where we will interview our player of the game. So we still have plenty of football ahead of us. For those of you just tuning in, 1:08 on the clock. Davis High going up against Woodland High, a local rivalry here. But Davis showing dominance. First time these two teams have played in 5 years. And Davis, once again, in striking distance, with the ball around the 23-yard line, trying to get one more score in before the half. So it's actually going to be now 3rd and 7 as the clock finally gets rolling, and a strong snap for Dickerson. He's actually going to hand it up the middle, but it is fumbled A rare fumble is coming from Roberson, and Woodland's going to get the ball.
Yeah, that was recovered by Tanner Fellows. Good heads-up play. He was going in to make the tackle, and there was just a slip on the handoff. Good heads-up play by Fellows. Was able to snatch that ball up.
Now, it seemed like they knew exactly where the ball was going. Roberson, with his draws up the middle from that pistol formation, it was a good read by the entire defense.
Yeah, they put a lot of pressure on them. I think they got through and messed up that handoff a little bit, got in the way of the handoff.
Now, Young is going to drop back, and he's going to make a throw to his left side, but it's going to be incomplete as we go to 2nd and 10. 45 seconds on the clock as it ticks down. And that's my point. Because it was ticking down, the referees are now going to stop the game and try to get the original time set. That was an incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass. The clock will stop. They'll probably have about 40 seconds or so, maybe 45 seconds to, take a couple cracks down the field.
It's funny. I didn't even notice it at first. I was like, as the clock ticks down, and then I kind of tilted my head, realizing that's not right.
It shouldn't be ticking.
So they're going to get the clock up to, it looks like, yes, 45 seconds is where the referee wants it.
That was a great guess.
Yeah, I'm impressed. And he's still waiting, and looks like the motion of the 4 and the 5 is coming up, and that says 59, but again, we will get this figured out in just a moment. And
little hometown advantage. Give him a couple extra
perhaps
seconds.
they gave him a couple extra seconds. I saw the referee give 45, but perhaps maybe he was giving a 9 with the two combined hands.
Been, yeah.
So, as we try to learn how to read the referees here, Young drops back and he throws to the outside. Almost intercepted by Amari Hayes. Great coverage on his part. He really wanted that ball, but it's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, it looked like Trevor Young didn't get all the way into that one. He's been throwing some nice balls tonight. That one looked like it got away from him a little bit. Just kind of hung it up there for Amari Hayes to break up that play. That was a great play by Hayes. He's had a few good ones tonight.
As the play resumes for 53 seconds now, just a few taken off. Young is going to throw to the far side of the field, and that is nowhere near his target. Almost Augie Aiden was the attempted receiver, but it looks like he didn't quite have the same route in mind.
Yeah, it looked like the miscommunication there from looked like Aiden was looking to his other receiver, saying, "You should have been right here." He was pointing at the ground. This is where you should have been. Right where the ball hit.
So, 49 seconds on the clock. Kind of wish it had been 45. That would have been pretty cool. So, here's a low punt coming to Adam King. Adam King's going to get to the outside a bit. More flags on the field from two directions. I don't know what the call is going to be here, but the clock says 40 seconds.
It's usually a block in the back on special teams. They're just trying to get position on their guy, and the guy just outspeeds them. They end up just giving him a little push.
And Davis is walking backwards, which means they're pretty sure what the penalty is going to be. And Marcus, you are dead on right. Block in the back, making things a bit more difficult here for the Blue Devils.
It's tricky when there's 10 guys, running as fast as they can down the field, and you're trying to get in their way. Sometimes they get a little bit in front of you. You can hang with them for about 10 or 15 yards, and then every once in a while you just got to you accidentally give them a push from behind.
And of course, blocking, it's one of the few instances where blocking is where all of the referees are looking. So it's kind of a difficult scenario. And
you're on the spotlight, on the
you're on the
island
spotlight,
out there.
and it's dangerous as well. I mean, it's the only time where you're going to get tackled from any direction. So here's going to be a draw up the middle, this time to number 2, Winfred Roberson.
I think number 22 is a different kid. I think I saw Roberson getting a little break on the sideline. Being up by 27, they're trying to give their workhorse a little break.
So we do not have that number 22, ladies and gentlemen. However, he's doing a pretty good job of imitating Roberson, who did just get a first down on that play. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils as the clock ticks down to 20 seconds. They might let this run out or perhaps wait for just one more play. Could be looking end zone here.
Yeah, think they'd take one long shot at the end zone right before the half.
And indeed, it's going to be aired out to Hicks. Hicks is going to try to get to the ball, but it looked like there was coverage in front of him.
Yeah, that was good coverage by Augie Aiden again. They were just going for the big one, and again, he just got a little bit too much under it. He's looking for that receiver to have the 4.4 speed to get behind the defense.
Right. So, despite that incomplete, though, we are at halftime. 27-0 is the score. Davis High Blue Devils showing a lot of dominance in this rivalry game, specifically in their run attack.
Yeah, their running game's just been spot on tonight. They just have a good rhythm going. Looks like Woodland's, just a little bit of like a half a step behind all the time. Looks like Davis is just the more aggressive team right now, and they're taking advantage of it. Just good hard running. Their pass game's a little bit shaky, but when they do get those passes off, they've been getting the rack yardage, the run after the catch yardage, and then the running backs have just been hitting the line hard, getting contact right away, but they're just continuing on. Their forward momentum and their hard leg drive is giving them 5, 10, sometimes even 15 extra yards.
So the cheerleaders have gone out to meet, which means we're getting into halftime. We'll be back in just a little while after this. The PlayOnSports.com broadcast of Davis High versus Woodland in Woodland, California. 27-0 is the score. We'll be back in just a bit.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort. We're gonna come at you. One shot.
.316 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from Dion.
He took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just...
Holy cow!
Can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball. 12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop. 5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons win. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take, and there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac-Joaquin section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
Jacqueline Williamson. Her serve is over. Dug by Holt. Giblin going back to Holt near side. Cut shot. Kept alive. Back and one by Cathedral. And this one is out as Castanon Hill sends it wide. And the Cathedral Dons have won the title 16-14 in Game 5.
Thomas with the ball, swings it out to Norris. Cameron Taylor tried to block that one away. Norris with a strong take, blocked by B.J. Anya. Huge block. Robinson leading the break the other way, gets it to Grant. Slam dunk Jeremy Grant off the feed from James Robinson. What a play by the Stags.
Runner at third is Chavez. 8-2 the score. Bottom of the 7th. The 1-2. Popped in the air. This should do it. Cortopassi says it's mine. Now he's fading on it. And he can't make the catch, but Gaff comes in from center field and does.
Congratulations to the St. Mary's Rams, a three-peat. They win it 8-2 against Franklin to take the series 2-0.
But this is time to run an offensive set that you've done all through the season in practice.
Yeah, and also, you get it to your hottest player right now. Just like they're getting into Eichhorst right here. He's going to try to create some space, find somebody on the backside that's open.
Eichhorst flush out to the right. Oh, breaks free of a player. Eichhorst on his own. Shoots and scores. Bounces a shot home. Kuz can't handle the shot. Eichhorst takes off the shirt and the helmet. And how about that? Alex called it. Eichhorst, after sustaining the injury in the third quarter of play, has scored the game winner with 22 seconds gone in the overtime period. Dogpile on the field. Marin Academy take it. A fantastic finish to this game, and well, I hope his other ankle isn't hurting after this.
Hancock to his immediate left. Two receivers far side, one near side. Hancock on a counter right side. He's inside the 10. He bounces off a tackler at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Helix. And behind Hancock, the field is littered with white jerseys on the turf.
Wow. Hancock not to be outdone by his fellow playmakers on offense. Put on a show on that short 12-yard touchdown run. Looked like he was down after 3 yards, just threw a defender on the ground.
As sophomore Chris Carter sits under center in their tight wing formation. Lycos in motion. Second back through is Freeman. Freeman just knocking people over. Look at him run. Breaks through. 4 tackles. And now it's just a foot race to the end zone. And Freeman's going to go the distance. Touchdown Imperial on the first play of the second half. 2nd and 6 for Imperial from their own 47. They're going to give it to Freeman again off the left side. And Freeman gets by one wave and down across the 40-yard line. Still on his feet. Look at him run down to the 20-yard line. One man to beat. Gets by him. Touchdown Freeman. How did he do that? Holy cow. 64-yard touchdown run. His 5th of the game. Royce Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see the top rushing, and as I look over to our partners at KXO Radio, the top rusher in the San Diego section for the next 2 years.
That's just amazing. That is just amazing. They hit him in the backfield. They hit him at the line of scrimmage. They hit him a couple yards downfield. They hit him again near the goal line.
Keep those Lowell fans quiet over there.
Lum sets it up for Pang. Long, it's out. Low, a magnificent 7 titles in the San Francisco section in dramatic style as they pull out a fantastic victory over a spirited Galileo Lions team. They win the 4th game, 31-29, and they take the 2012 Academic Athletic Association San Francisco section title.
Officials say no 5-second count can be started. Nobody was close enough defensively. Lyle's going to swing left side, Robinson. Here is a backdoor lob for Grant. They've been wanting that all game. And they got it, 50-42. They lulled you to sleep, and then they hit Grant on the back door.
They trail by 2. McMorrow's kick is on the way, and it is good. St. Augustine has their first lead of the game, 21-20, with 25 seconds to play. The senior McMorrow with a huge kick, not the longest of his career, but the biggest of his career. St. Augustine leads it 21-20.
Already lining up. They won't even have to run that one more play. They just acquiesce.
Why bother?
So there you have it. Your 5-time defending Division III champions, the Cathedral Catholic Dons, running up over and through Olympian 41-0 here from Qualcomm Stadium.
Patriots down 21-17. Great ball game here. Dillon taking it, looking right, throwing it up top to Gaines. It will be caught by Gaines. Oh my goodness. It looked like the defender had it, but Gaines stole it away from him. Jason Gaines, are you kidding me, my friend? Oh boy. It looked like for sure we had an interception by the Tories, but As they both were going to the ground, Jason Gaines just wrestled it away from him. Shane Dillon to Jason Gaines on an 11-yard play.
Fanchen in the game, now out, replaced by Hayashi, the libero for defense. Wenzel's serve, championship point, ball up in the air. Hayashi's going to bring it back. Richards, deep one, over and 3. Free opportunity, look for Wallace, no, they go Becker. Hayashi, then tap over and 2 by Hollingsworth. Now look for Wallace for the match!
Kathleen Wallace. No better way for the Bulls to finish it than giving it to their senior leader.
25-12, 25-15, and with 8 straight points to close out their 3rd straight D5 championship on a kill by Kathleen Wallace. 25-21 in Game 3. Branson has won the D5 title.
To the backfield, it's Hernandez and Northcutt. Set to throw is Thomas. Has time. Goes for the home run. It's intercepted in the end zone. Seemed like they tried to go to Martin, and Martin slipped. Stockton, Hilmar, and Escalon. That's going to do it, folks. Victory formation, take a kneel. The clock comes out. The clock will tick down. The players jumping up at midfield. I think I see a Gatorade. Did we have a Gatorade shower?
We most certainly did. Casey Taylor getting the shower there. Very much deserved.
Down to 12.
Great tackle there by Ronald Williams there to make the stop for Helix.
And the Helix fans are starting to celebrate here. This is going to be the final play. 5 seconds. Pow will hand it off. And they're going to get in the end zone. Touchdown. That's Keegan who gets in, but that's going to be the end of the ball game. 44-6 will be the score. So Oceanside scores on the final play of the ball game.
And gets a consolation prize just to make this is kind of say that, hey, we didn't get shut out.
So 44-6 is your score. And Helix is celebrating on the sideline. Oceanside streak of 7 straight championship games has been ended.
2 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock. Clock rolling, 3rd down and 15 for the Patriots. Dillon, he's got time, steps up. He's going to chuck it deep. He's got a man open. Seth Collins with a diving catch. He hauls it in at the 25. Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you right there. Dillon goes to show why he is a Division I prospect, as he's able to step up, elude the pressure, see Collins down the field, and make the connection. As I'll tell you right now, there has not been a bigger catch for Seth Collins this entire season.
Fans nervously wait on the far side. Trips right. Vernon, the lone receiver to the left. Troy Zine rolls right. Here we go. And he's going to be... Oh, he gets away, but can't get away from the second slew. Vacaville takes over on downs, and the crowd erupts. So does the sideline. Got to watch it. Got to watch the sideline here.
Yeah,
Remember, they were up 35-26. 2 unanswered touchdowns. That's going to do it, folks. Your 2011 Division II Sac-Joaquin Section champions, the Vacaville Bulldogs. They win 39-35 in a classic.
Although they have no timeouts, they'll get the ball on the sideline, try to set something up. They can get a couple dribbles and a shot.
I tell you what, that was a gutsy call there by Coach Aguiar. Oh, what a shot! I tell you what, Javier Kirksey, from well beyond the three-point mark, takes the inbound pass, throws it up off the glass, and nails a three. And you've got the finish to this Cinderella story as the Ridgeview Wolfpack win the Division III boys title.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the end of the first half. We've just got a minute until the start of the second, as Davis has already made its way to the sideline, but we're still waiting for an entrance, looks like through a banner from Woodland High. 27-0 again, the score. Greg Cott alongside Marcus Zamzow. Now, really, the story of the game, though, Marcus, is one person, and that's Winfred Roberson.
Yeah, he's just been running hard all night. They've been giving it to him. He's their workhorse, and they've been taking advantage of him. He's just had success pretty much every carry. He's getting 3, 4, 5 yards, sometimes breaking it to even 15, 20 yards. He's had a couple really strong runs. I would assume that they're going to just keep going to him until they can stop him.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think it's safe to say that the run game is going to be the strategy, and just the entirety actually, especially because that's also a way to keep the clock moving. Now Woodland on the other side had a bit of momentum going into the second half, as they did pick up a fumble by the man we've just been mentioning, Roberson. And their offense couldn't quite do too much with it. However, it still could be a good sign, and they're going to have to work hard to do this. But it is a rivalry game, and as we know, rivalry games, a lot of things happen.
Bring out the best in the teams. They got a little bit of work to do, but they have time to do it. They have the whole second half. If they can get a rhythm going, the Wolves have been scoring. They've been scoring pretty consistent during the games. They've had 4 losses, but most of them have been really close. There's been 2 really close ones, and they've been scoring 27, 28, 30-something points in each game. So they can score. We just got to get them into a rhythm.
Now Davis High is in the Delta Valley League, of course, in the Sac-Joaquin section, while the Wolves are in Tri-County. So the reason why this matchup is happening, it doesn't impact their season records or anything about playoffs at all. However, it's just a rivalry game, and it's these two teams almost like kind of stepping aside in order to be able to get this opportunity. So, it's good to see the community bring this back in, because it was something that we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. They had trouble with it. It got a little too heated, got a little too rowdy, well, so far so good, I'd say, from either crowd.
Yeah, it's been pretty mellow tonight. The action's been on the field, so that's a good thing for the crowd. These crosstown rivalries, you run into each other at the grocery store. Your parents probably work together, so they're talking back and forth to each other. Your ex-girlfriend's probably dating the quarterback on the other team. There's just a lot of close ties.
Right.
I talked to a couple of the Woodland coaches before the game. The 3 or 4 that I was just kind of hanging out with for a minute and talking to, all of them played in this game before, and they were pretty excited about this game. They have that little bad taste in their mouth about going 4 years with that loss on their mind. So they want to kind of get it going and see what they can do in this second half.
Well, I'd say, yeah. I mean, it looks like bringing this game back has been a success. So it's something that we can likely look forward to. Where the teams are getting set up, but a minute is listed on the clock, and perhaps both teams are, I don't know, maybe they just want to get it going. And indeed, the referee is communicating. We're going to get this game moving in just a bit. As the tee's being set, back to receive for Davis High. It looks like number 16, Quinn Williams, as well as Adam King again. So Adam King been doing all the punt returning. However, we have not gotten to see him return a kick yet.
Yeah, he's been successful on the punts. He's been making some plays on the punts. The Woodland's been doing that little squib kick, and that kind of backfired on him last time. There was a pretty good return by Davis on that last one.
Right, definitely, and as Woodland makes a few adjustments to their lineup, perhaps they are going to say this is their first kickoff as they did not get on the scoreboard in the first half of the game. But the clock's being set now, and the whistle is about to be blown. So we get a bit of a delay, but here's a start now. Both teams very much ready. And here's the kick. And it's going to be a short bouncer that goes to the 20, but Quinn Williams is going to be back to get it, and he gets nailed at the 15-yard line.
Looks like Coach Salinas gave him a little bit of a pep talk during the halftime. That's why they were in there for so long in the locker room, getting a little swift talking to, trying to get the team back together.
That was definitely I'd say Davis High making it out to the field about 2 or 3 minutes before Woodland did at the halftime, and Woodland did not wait because the clock ticks 0, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you at home, who aren't familiar with the system, the clock ticks 0, and then there's 3 minutes for stretching and getting ready, and they waited until they had to be. They waited only till their minimum amount of time out on the field, perhaps getting some extra talking to. So in the backfield now is Dickerson. Dickerson going to fumble the snap again, but it looks like he's able to get on top of it. But behind him was Adam King. Perhaps Roberson getting more rest with this 27-0 lead. We'll see how that plays out.
That's the couple times tonight they've had that little bobble on the snap.
So
that's one of the tricky things about the shotgun. Got to be super consistent with that snap.
Yeah, when that snap goes wrong, you aren't going to lose any less than 4 yards.
Scramble for it.
So that time it was 6. So 2nd and 16 with 11:15 on the clock. Dickerson going to drop back, and he's going to pump fake, then go over the middle. Beautiful throw on his part. On the receiving end is Kevin Sorensen once again. Great throw over the top, splitting the safeties, and that's going to be a first down.
He got beautiful pass on that. Dickerson just put a nice little touch on that one. He was able to bring a little bit off of it, and it was perfect. Led Sorensen, right in stride. Sorensen caught it and still gained about another 6 yards. That was a great pass and catch from the Blue Devils.
Yeah, like you said, it's those yards after the catch that have really been helping out the Blue Devils, because once they'll get the first down and then some, and that adds up by the end of the field. Here's Dickerson, and it's going to be a run up the middle for number 42 of Davis, and that's Adam Inouye. However, he's going to get hit pretty hard in the backfield. Good defense by Woodland again.
Got hit and got driven back on that one. Kind of just shuffled his feet out there, and Woodland came and just cleaned him out. Scooped him up and took him back about 3 or 4 yards. He got the forward progress, but Woodland scooped him up and took him back a little bit. It's the first time we've seen Inouye tonight.
Inouye getting some ball time, and like we mentioned, it looks like Roberson, I haven't seen him out on the field yet. Perhaps he might become something such as like a third down back, or kind of pulling back on the reins a bit as Dickerson runs into some trouble. And again, once he's rushed, it seems like their passing game has a lot of trouble. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was Brandon Olsweg on the pressure. He has 3.5 sacks coming into this game, so he's one of the pretty much sack specialists for Woodland. He got some pretty good pressure on that. Made Dickerson get rid of it early.
So Dickerson now with 9:48 on the clock, stopped 3rd and long, definitely a passing situation. He has 3 wideouts to his left, and that's where he's looking. He's going to stutter his feet, and he goes over the top. Safeties are stopped again. Number 20 for Davis High on the reception. Number 20,
Brett Bloomfield.
Thank you, Brett Bloomfield. On the reception. That was a great route.
That was a great route, and another great pass by Dickerson. He's the coach probably talked to him a little bit and just said, take a little bit of that steam off. And the last 2 passes have just been rifles, perfect passes, perfect catches. It's a beautiful thing.
And I guess with a 27-point lead, now is the time possibly, maybe the coach is concluding this is time to work on weaknesses.
Trying to get your guys healthy, keep your guys healthy coming through towards the end of this game.
Right, so Dickerson is going to throw a bubble screen over to the left side. Gain of 7, 2nd and a few.
Dickerson's really calmed down during halftime. He, got all that crazy energy out of him during the first half. He's calmed down and just thrown a couple really nice balls. That one, even though it was a short little bubble pass, it's just on a rope, just little short, quick pass.
And it's also interesting because, like you said, even though it's a short throw, he had trouble with some of those short throws in the first half.
He threw a lot of them high in the first half.
So 2nd and 3. And that's going to be a run up the middle, and indeed that is going to be Roberson. My eyes don't deceive me.
Brought him back in. They stopped him a little bit short of the first down on that one. Again, it looks like Woodland's trying to get a little bit lower on him. They're tired of getting run over, so they're going around his waist and around his hips. You got to take out his legs a little bit to slow him down. He just shakes off, arm tackles up on his upper body. That's what they were doing early on in the first half. And they started getting down, tackling on his legs. Not chopping his legs, not a dirty tackle, but that's where you got to get some of those bigger body guys.
8:06 on the clock. And it's going to be a run up the middle again for Roberson. Roberson this time going to be well past the first down marker. So he's going to get the ball around the 41-yard line. First down for Davis High.
He is a beast of a runner. He gets that forward momentum going. And, again, they made contact about 2 steps behind the defensive line, and he dragged that pile for another 4 or 5 yards.
And you can see, you almost feel the point of contact. When that kid just starts pushing, it's like you see his momentum slow a bit, but he doesn't get taken down for, like you said, just a few yards. And multiple times in this game, that's been the reason why they get the first down.
That's been the difference.
So here's Roberson again, this time sweeping to the outside on the left. He's still on his feet. And a ball hits the ground, it looks like, but looks like Roberson is going to stay on top of it.
I think that was bodies hitting the ground. Roberson just plowed over about 4 of the Woodland Wolves.
I saw people diving, but perhaps it was just the hit. So ball on the 19.
I don't think they were diving. I think they were getting knocked around.
So ball on the 18-yard line, pardon.
That was an excellent lead block by, I lost him, number 40, must have been 44, Joseph Duran.
I, too, have actually seen
oh, wait, I got that. I'm on the wrong page again. That was Brandon McDonald, sorry. Sorry, Brandon, I keep missing you, buddy.
And as Roberson goes up the middle, also, same blockers again, this one going to this Brandon McDonald and on the play as well. And he has actually been having a great game, both receiving and blocking. And Roberson, great runner, but he has had great blocking on the front. I mean, some of the holes I've seen him go through, I could get through them, and I am not nearly as fast or as strong as that kid.
Yeah, that last long play, they pulled the guards and led with McDonald. Had a lot of room on that run. Some big bodies leading the way.
So here's Roberson, this time countering to the right side, and a gang tackle meets him, but he's going to make it to what's being marked at this point as the 12-yard line, going to be 3rd and short. Or pardon, inside the 10, so it's going to be other side of the 10, 8-yard line.
So he did end up getting the first down on that.
Oh, so he did get the first down as the spot moved just a bit.
The number across the field is still at 4th. Now he switched it to 1st.
There we are. So once the refs agreed on it, it was a first down, and that's going to make it 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. As that, to me, it looks like a very generous spot. Now here comes a run up the middle by the halfback for Davis High, but he's going to get met by a large group of I'd say the Woodland front 7 was all there waiting for him.
That was the Phantom number 22. We don't have a name for him. He's switching jerseys, or he switched jerseys back with Roberson. Roberson's back in. Number 2 is back in.
So definitely a jersey that has been mystery to the media around here. I even got a moment to go ask the press booth if they had a name on number 22, and they told me to make one up. So 5:30 on the clock. Here comes Roberson up the middle, and he actually gets stopped for a loss on that play, so it's going to be 3rd and about 7. Davis having more goal line trouble than they did in the first half.
That was a pack of wolves on that one, led by number 33, Tanner Fellows. Tanner Fellows has been, pretty much the most successful guy on defense. He's been on pretty much all the tackles, all the big behind the line plays. They got good penetration on that one. Roberson just had nowhere to go.
Clock ticks down to 5 minutes in the 3rd quarter, as it looks like Roberson has been brought back into the game. So Dickerson is going to be under center for this one. It looks like a strong formation, possibly a run here, but 2 wideouts on the bottom of the screen, and it's going to be a pass. Dickerson holding the ball for too long, and he's dragging a tackler, but ultimately he gets sacked for a loss of about 20.
That was their sack specialist, number 32, Brandon Olswag. It looked like just a miscommunication. I think there was supposed to be a screen coming out to the left. Dickerson was looking for somebody, and there was just no one there. I think the running back got tied up by the defensive line. He couldn't sneak out. Just got him into all kinds of trouble back there.
So with the ball, it's goal to go, but the ball is around, the 20-yard line.
That was a good heads-up play by Dickerson, just holding on to the ball, not trying to do anything crazy. They can still get something going from the 20.
So 20-yard line, that's 4th down, but this is go for it territory as it's a bit out of range for their kicker. Dickerson dropping back, looking left, going over the middle, and that is a near touchdown. I was ready to tally that one up for sure to get Dickerson his first touchdown pass of the game, but that's a 4th down turnover and downs.
He got just a little bit behind Sorensen on that one. Sorensen. Just got a little bit behind him. That was another good, accurate pass, but just didn't lead him enough that time.
So 3:41 on the clock. Woodland getting a chance to get in there as it looks like the referee is
referee timeout.
Calling a timeout for himself, making sure that they're all in position. Their shoes are tied. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper for Trevor Young. Shown his athleticism all around the field, but again, he's wearing a cast on that left hand. It's not his throwing hand, but a few bumbled snaps. Perhaps that can be a factor.
Yeah, it's still hard to get a clean snap on when you got a club on your hand.
Especially from a shotgun formation. Young going to keep the ball himself again. Looked like a designed run, not even looking for other options.
Brendan McDonald just got good penetration. He's playing the end outside linebacker position. He came through untouched and just snuck down the line and got that good play.
So
now he's playing middle linebacker. Switching him up on me.
So 3rd and 4, and it's going to be a screen over to the right side for Woodland. Brendan Flores still staying on his feet, fighting past a few defenders, but it looks like he's going to be just short of that 1st down marker.
Good hard run by Flores. Didn't give up. Got tied up and just kept his legs driving. Looks like they gave him the 1st down.
And perhaps they gave that to him for effort, or I just had a bad angle on it. But 1st down Woodland. And that's something they've been having trouble doing all day. 2:36 on the clock as it continues to tick down. Young going to drop back, and he's going to roll out to his far side. And it's a rainbow that is easily intercepted by Davis High. Amari Hayes on the interception there, and that's going to be a quick turnover.
Hayes has been Davis's best DB all night. They keep going to his side, and he's just, he's taking advantage. He's had a couple knockdowns. He's had a couple big booming hits. But now he's got an interception.
So an interception for Davis. That's the first turnover of the game, but 27-0 is the score here in the 3rd quarter, 2:25 on the clock.
Looked like Young just tried to force that one in a little bit.
Yeah, definitely what I saw from here. It looked like he didn't really take time to look at his reads, almost like he had one target in mind the whole time. And, well, good defense coming from, from Davis High. So here's Grant Dickerson now, and he's going to throw a bubble screen to the far side, or to the near side part, and it is dropped by Sorensen.
That's a dangerous little play right there because Sorensen gave up on it. If that was behind the line of scrimmage, that could have been a live ball. That could have been a lateral rather than a pass. Woodland could have scooped that one and gone for a scoop touchdown.
Yeah, I was definitely fearing the same thing. It almost looked like an apathetic throw. It didn't really seem like the same dominance and composure that we saw on their last drive. Perhaps the turnover on downs could have caused a little bit of problem. Here's Roberson again in the backfield behind Dickerson. And it looks like Dickerson's going to keep it himself.
That was another bobbled snap.
And indeed, he had trouble with the snap, so that's kind of been the tale of both teams. Maybe the only thing they've had in common all day. 2 minutes now on the clock in the 3rd quarter, but it's going to be 3rd and long.
It's starting to cool down a little bit out here. There may be a little bit of mist in the air. The ball may be getting a little bit slippery. Maybe it's just a little bit of fatigue coming in.
Definitely a different game than we saw here in the first half, especially because they seem to be Davis High Blue Devils are focusing on their pass attack a little bit more than their dominant run game that they had in the first half. So 3rd and long and another bad snap, but Dickerson's going to get underneath it, and he's going to lob off of his back foot, and he hits his target. And a bumbling touchdown. That goes in. Holy cow. Quinn Williams on the reception. He was wide open as it looked like Woodland thought it was going to be a sack. Whew.
Quinn Williams used his punt return skills on that one. Came up, got under that big, high, long throw. Got under that with the little basket catch and made a good spin move. Looked like Woodland thought the other guy was going to make the tackle again. They got there was a couple guys in on it, but he just spun off of 2 or 3 guys and just spun in for that crazy touchdown.
Yeah, it looked like that play should have ended 5 times before it actually did. And here's the extra point now. So that one was good. It's going to be 33-0. 34-0, thank you.
Just
and
wild fumbling plays. Everything's going Davis's way right now.
And that was an amazing play by Dickerson to roll out, and he ended up getting maybe 10, 15 yards deep from where he threw the ball.
Yeah, he bobbled the snap, rolled out to the right, and just threw on the run, running for his life. He had a couple guys on him, just running for his life. Found the open guy. He was just back behind the defense. Quinn Williams was sitting back there by himself. He hung it out there to him. It was like kicking a punt to him. Big old lobbing throw.
It was 45 yards through the air. It was
Williams just made a great spin move and ended up driving to the touchdown. Wild play.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. I didn't know how to keep my lips moving through that. So minute 22 now. 34-0 is the score. Here comes Woodland special teams again. And the kick's going to go back to Young. Young is going to try to take it up the middle, and he's finding some good blocks, getting to the outside. And a flag comes in as he steps out of bounds a little bit past the 30.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the one you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows your school to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
So Young's going to be starting with the ball on the far hash mark. And a penalty was called on the kickoff, and it was another block in the back. Again, the referees seem rather on top of that one today. Here's Young in shotgun, 3 wideouts. And it's going to be a run up the middle. I was looking for a fake there, but indeed is a run up middle for number 44 of Woodland, Joseph Duran.
Joseph Duran's been their leading rusher. He's got 372 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. They're just trying to get something going, anything going on offense right now. That was a pretty nice 7 to 8 yard run on that one.
Clock ticks down to 47 seconds. And it's going to be 2nd and 3. Young is going to drop back, and he's going to throw a short pass to Devin Jones. And that is a difficult throw to make, as he had to come back across his body. And then instead of he didn't quite replant his feet, though. He was a little rushed. So that's going to make it 3rd and 3.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to get that out just a little bit too quick. He had plenty of time. He just needed to take his time and just try to get a little bit more air under that ball.
So Young, again, in a deep shotgun. He catches a low snap, but he decides to keep it himself. Stumbles for a few yards, and it's going to be a close, but it looks like he only gained actually a yard on that one, so it's going to be 4th and 2.
That was a great play by Brendan McDonald from that inside linebacker position. He got penetration quick, kept his head up when he came through the line, was able to get a foot from Young, was able to get the shoelace tackle.
So 13 seconds on the clock in the 3rd quarter, and Woodland's going to go for it. Here's Young from shotgun, 4 wideouts this time. And it's going to be a run up the middle for Woodland, and that's going to be a 1st down. So a good run on their part. Joseph Duran again, taking us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
That was a nice hard run by Duran. Haven't seen too much of him tonight, so we'll be looking for more of him in the 4th quarter, try to get something going.
Now, being at the end of the 3rd quarter, it looks like we have a penalty, but we'll get information on that in just a sec.
Stay tuned for PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will select our player of the game, as well as wrap up the action from tonight's ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So here is, and it's actually going to be a penalty against Davis High. So that's going to be tagged on to the end there. It looks like unnecessary roughness was the call. Something happened in the dog pile there.
Yeah, somebody probably jumped on the pile a little bit late on that one. Trying to get a little piece of the action.
And again, referees keeping a close eye on this game so far. We're at the start of the fourth quarter, though.
It's been a bit of clean game so far. There hasn't been any, unnecessary penalties. There's, been a couple little penalties here and there, but there hasn't been anything. A little bit of talking here and there, but nothing too bad for this crazy crosstown rivalry.
So it looks like Woodland has decided to tag a timeout on top of this quarter break, so the action's just going to take a little extra moment.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the one you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports school broadcast system. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
49, the ball is on the 49, and honestly, Woodland has had the ball. They haven't gotten the ball this deep, really, very much this entire game. This is the first time I'd say the first time this half that they're getting the ball toward enemy territory.
Yeah, they've been having trouble getting into the rhythm. See what they can do with it now. It just seems like they get going and then something sputters. They have 2 or 3 bad plays in a row or a fumble or something just keeps shooting themselves in the foot.
So here's the snap. We're finally starting the fourth quarter after that long break. And it's going to be a low snap. And
it's just a miscommunication between the quarterback and the running back. Between Young and Duran. Looked like Young thought he was going to the left, and Duran went to the right. He stuck it out there, waiting for him to take it, but there was no one there.
Now, it looks like also Young did take a knee on that play as when he dropped down to snag the ball, so he was marked down there as a diving pass is caught on the other side of the field. That was Connor Wright, the receiver.
That was a nice grab by Connor Wright.
Hey, he's Superman for that one. He was definitely like parallel with the field. So that's going to be a gain of 4 and make it 3rd and 16. So 4 wideouts for Young. Young is now going to drop back, looking left, and he throws over the middle, but his receiver was not ready for the reception, so missed timing from their offense, and it's going to be 4th and 13.
Yeah, it seems like Woodland is out of sorts right now. He had Trevor had plenty of protection on that one. He had nice time, but seems like he's miscommunicating with his guys right now. Seems like he's zigging when they're zagging. Did the same thing with the running back a second ago. Went to the left when the running back went to the right. That time he passed looking outside. The receiver cut inside.
It's definitely it was clearly a miscommunication. I mean, we could all see it from here. 11 minutes on the clock now as the punting unit comes out. And it's going to be a short punt, but again takes a Woodland bounce. And a Woodland player seemed to bat the ball a little bit further downfield, but no flags are being pulled. The spot's going to be at the 25.
See if the Woodland defense can get the ball back for their offense. See if they can get a good quick 3 and out here.
It's stopping this, particularly the rushing game, which it looks like Roberson is back in the game. So when he's on the field, I'd say there's a good 80% chance that he is going to get the ball.
Yeah, it's not an easy task trying to stop him all night.
Yeah, it's definitely been difficult. However, Roberson is now going to find a gap on the left side. 40, 50, and he's pushed out of bounds. Good effort by the secondary to save that touchdown. Tackle on the play from number 9, Brandon Flores. He's been doing a lot tonight, but it's going to be first down for Davis High.
Yeah, that was just like a little inside trap play. They used the trap with number 45, Brandon McDonald. He led him through the hole, found a nice gap, and just turned and burned. Found the sideline, used the sideline for his help his protection. That was a great play by Brandon Flores, though. Saved that touchdown.
Yeah, that was definitely
Flores showing a little bit of speed on that one.
Yeah, we've seen it on every play. Roberson is not easy to get a handle on. But ball at the 38 now. Roberson in the backfield behind Dickerson. Dickerson this time going to drop back to pass. And it was a rolling throw to Michael McTeague.
Got back to that high throw. Got a little bit too much on that one. He had 4 or 5 right at the beginning of the half. He had 4 or 5 really, nice touch throws, and now he got just a little bit too much on that one.
And so their passing game is definitely a weakness and possibly a point of exploit if you're looking from the Woodland perspective. So here's the huddle now. And I see a bit of rotation coming from Woodland's linebacker core. Look out for Olswang. But no, Dickerson is going to roll out, and he gets hit in the backfield, but the catch is made despite getting hit. He holds his feet down. Beautiful throw. Reception, Brett Bloomfield on the other end of that.
That was Dylan Woltman on the pressure. He kind of angled himself for that right from the get-go. He was one of the guys that shuffled over, had pretty much a clear shot at Dickerson, and he just Dickerson was cool as a cucumber back there. Just put that pass up, made the reception.
So 1st and 10 from the 29 with 9:50 on the clock, or pardon, from the 24. So a strong I formation. Dickerson just going to hand it off to his halfback. And Roberson with a short run, I'd say stopped after about 2 or 3.
Yeah, Woodland just brought the house on that one. You could see him starting to pin their ears back. They're trying to just shut down the running game of the Blue Devils right now. They brought both inside linebackers. They squeezed the inside gaps and just shut out that thing. But Roberson still, even with all that pressure, busted out with 3 yards.
So 2nd, and it's looks like 7. Board's reading 8. We'll call it 7.5. 9:23 on the clock. As it looks like the referees are going to take a timeout.
That may be a uniform timeout, maybe like a busted chin strap or something.
So the referees are going to go make sure that something's fixed up, possibly on Roberson's jersey, or a big, it could be anything from blood to a helmet strap, as you just mentioned, Marcus. And anyway, it seems like just a protocol situation. But the referees are coming back out now. Yeah, it looks like Roberson, for whatever reason, maybe his helmet came off on the play. I would need instant replay for that, but here's a counter to the left side and a powerful run coming from the halfback on the play.
They pulled the backside. It looked like the guard and tackle on that, both the backside guard and tackle, and led him up through the hole. That was a good, powerful run by the mystery number 22.
So there's our mystery man again, and if at any point during the broadcast we can get that information to you, we gladly will do so. But like I said, the press around here, a bit of difficulty with that number. 8:34 on the clock with a 34-point lead. And it's going to be a run to the outside by the halfback, and it looks like he might just make it to the first down marker. The first down marker and possibly the person holding it were knocked down on the play as we tick down to just above 8 minutes.
Looks like they're going to mark him just short of the first down. That was another good hard run. There was 3 or 4 guys, 3 or 4 times he got hit pretty hard, and he just kept going. They just never wrapped him all the way. He just bounced off and kept running. Almost made it to that first down.
So the clock has ticked past 8 minutes now. And here comes another tight formation. It looks like Davis is really planning to run the clock out now, especially now with a big fullback coming into Bruce and with the head of steam. Number 45 for Davis High, Brendan McDonald. is going to easily get that first down.
Is that 45 or 42 that time?
It was one of them.
I think that was in a way.
I think you are right. It was in a way.
Coach Smite calls him their freight train. He's a good low pad runner, get that good short yardage. He's one of the goal line fullback type guys, or that like that play of the 1 yard fullback. He's still back there. That was in a way number 42.
Yeah, so in a way in on the play, and he's going to get right back into the thick of things. And that looks like a gain of about 4. And like you said, that's definitely a bull coming from the backfield. And it's not the style of running that we've seen so far today, but it's working just as well. 7 minutes on the clock.
Not the biggest guy on the team, but he's a hard runner.
So a 2nd and 7 after that run. Woodland really starting to feel the end zone behind them as they're just trying to come up with a stop here. 6:43 on the clock now. And that's going to be Inouye again, churning his legs. But he's brought down by, it looks like, number 54 on the play for Woodland. 54 being Josh Cardoza, one of the team's captains.
That was just another good hard run. They're still getting that push. We've been talking about it a little bit all night. Davis is just a little bit stronger, a little bit faster off the ball. They've been getting the good push, getting a step on Woodland before they're engaging. It's becoming it's been the big advantage all night. They've just been pushing them around a little bit.
So 3rd and 1 now, and actually they're going out to measure the spot. And whether it's a first down or not, I expect the same strategy to ensue, and that is to run the ball right up the middle. So 6:15 now in the 4th quarter.
Stay tuned for PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we'll select the player of the game, as well as wrap up the action from tonight's ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
And they are marking a first down, so it's going to be 1st and goal.
From about the half-yard line.
As it is
I
nearly
predict
there.
The freight train again.
And indeed it is, and that's going to be a run up the middle. Touchdown indeed. This touchdown, again, the freight train, Inouye, Adam Inouye, in on the play. And Davis's run game, 34-0 is a score, but when different running backs are all doing really well, you should start really focusing on that offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line has been, having the upper hand all night. You see number 63, he's got the club. He's been playing with that club for a little while. That's Bailey Murray. He's their top lineman. He's been, getting the push all night. He's one of the guys that's just been grinding it out.
So here comes the extra kick unit. Woodland chomping at the bit for it, but still couldn't quite get there in time. This one's going to be good. So 41-0 is the score now. So Davis High has just dropped an unanswered 40 burger here. And this is a dominant game, not quite what we expected to see, especially coming from a rivalry game.
Yeah, the Woodland Wolves just seem like they're a little bit out of sorts. They have so many injuries going on. They had the big injury at the beginning of the game. Sometimes that can throw off your rhythm. They need to try to get something going in the last. There's 5 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game. They just need to try to get something rolling here. Just get something going into next week.
It's definitely it's like you said. It really feels like a type of, I don't know, their offense's struggles really seem to be like them being out of sync. It seems like players aren't running the right routes, or perhaps the quarterback isn't throwing in the right direction, but it seems more like it's just nobody's on the same page, and that happens to any team. We've seen it across. You can tune through all the play-on games, and you're just going to find good programs that run into trouble like this. It's just where one night, everybody has a day, where just things don't go their way. So the clock has been ticking down for a while now, and I don't know if the referees noticed, but the clock is at 4:55 now. Young, the quarterback, is going to take the kick back, and he's turned the corner, but he gets stopped at the 28, 4:46 on the clock.
We may be on a running clock now because of the score.
I think
running
that
clock
is
during the fourth quarter.
I think that was the case.
And I could be lying because they just stopped the clock.
So
that whole time they were getting ready for the kickoff. The clock was running. So
perhaps it could be a home field decision. But regardless, the clock says 4:43, and that's what the referees are calling it. So here is the snap now. Young going to take the low snap, and he's going to keep it himself. And he cuts back for an attemptful, a strong effort of a run, but he's going to get stopped around the line of scrimmage.
Looked like Young had about 3 yards, and then he tried to cut back and make it a bigger play. If he would have just kept running straight, he probably would have got another 2 yards. Looks like he ended up getting the no gain on that one.
So took a risk here in the closing minutes of the game. Stay tuned for the post-game show, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have an interview with our player of the game as a run comes up the middle for Woodland High, a stumbling run. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody fall for 30 yards, but that was that.
That was Trevor Fellows falling with style.
So the clock ticks down to 3:45, and a stumbling play there gets the ball past the 50, and definitely a first down. So here they're going back to the same play right up the middle, this time going for almost 10 yards. Met by a gang of tacklers, though. It's going to be about second and a few.
I think there was about 9 Blue Devils trying to stop him on that one, and he still got a little bit of extra 2 or 3 steps once all those guys hit him.
Yeah, Tanner Fellows again on the run, really showing some leg strength on his side of the ball. 3:10 on the clock, and they're going to keep the ball. They're going to continue to run. Young is, though, going to get to the outside, and he steps out of bounds, stopping the clock. Ball's going to get to about the 30-yard line. 35, pardon.
Looks like he got the first down on that one.
So first down
Shifty
again,
little
moving the chains. This has been good offensive production here in the twilight of the game from Woodland High. For those of you just tuning in, Davis High winning 41-0 here over the Woodland Wolves. They're coming in here for a classic rivalry game that's been out of commission for a few years, but it's definitely back. And that's going to be a run to the left side this time, coming from number 44, Joseph Duran. And we get past 2.5 minutes. Anyway, yes, a post-game show will be happening. We'll have our player game. I expect that to be, unless there is some objection from coaches. Winfred Roberson is going to be up here. We'll have him for an interview, and we'll also recap the game to the best of our ability. Here comes a run up the middle again from Young. Looks like he wants to keep it himself, and his helmet comes off. So he is going to now have to run to the sideline, sit out a play as we get down to 2 minutes.
Yeah, Woodland's still playing aggressive. They just didn't seem like they got into a good rhythm all night tonight. They're not going anywhere. The Blue Devils definitely are feeling some of the hits from throughout the night.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 41. Although Davis has been dominant with 41 points on the board, it looks like there's an old college-style option there that went for about a gain of 2 or 3. You know, Woodland has been hitting hard when they've gotten the opportunities. Just kind of seems like they've been outmatched and out-strengthened.
Yeah, they're just been a little bit of a step behind. All the injuries that they've been incurring throughout the season, that's probably one of the reasons why they've been a little bit out of sorts. Miscommunication. They got the first-string guys mixed in with the second-string guys, mixed in with some other guys. It's hard to get that going within just 1 week of practice.
So Young is back in the game, and he's actually going to hand the ball off to Duran on that one. Or pardon, my apologies, that was Tanner Fellows on the run there.
Looks like they marked him short of the first down, so there's going to be a turnover on downs.
So that was a turnover on downs, and I think that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. The clock continues to tick down here. We're down to about 35 seconds. Again, we'll have the player of the game interview just after this. So please stay tuned for that. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to this portion of the broadcast, but 41-0 is going to be the final score here. Davis High winning in dominant fashion. They're going to move to 3-2 on the season. Woodland is going to be at 0-5, but none of their games have been in league play yet, so they still have a long season ahead of them. And indeed, we are going to tick down to 0 seconds. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. 41-0 is the final score. Several touchdowns coming from Winfred Roberson. And the coaches are going to line up and shake hands. Still cheers coming from the Woodland High cheering section. We'll be back in just a moment. 41-0 again is the final score. We'll be back after this.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that?
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista. They trailed 14-0 and came back.
Again, down 2-0, facing adversity. And they've really just turned the table around since game number 3. Set an attack, great block made back inside the Maverick zone. A chance there by Bosback back inside the Maverick zone. Ball attacked there by Bosback. A second opportunity by Bosback. Lip violation call. Winner. It's over the neck call. Oh my goodness. Bosback reached over on the attack. A Maverick error wraps up the title for the Presentation Panthers. A 15-9 victory in game number 5, and they wrap it up coming back from 2-0 down match-wise and take it 3 games to 2.
36-35 and driving, and oh baby! Shrigley with the jam, and it was with emphasis. And it's the foul, and listen to these fans.
Do you know who's standing up right behind us? Tony Bland, who is the head recruiter for San Diego State. I think he's drooling. Somebody get that man a napkin.
Quick score on this drive. There goes a handoff to Zeller, trying to go straight ahead, but he is met by Wool. Now he breaks out to the outside, gets across the 30, 35, on the right, 40, midfield. He's running down the sidelines. He's going to go all the way as he's at the 10, 5, touchdown. Patrick Zeller stood up at the line of scrimmage and broke out to his left to the far sidelines, and he was in a foot race, and he went all the way for the touchdown. Broke a tackle and made it nice and showed his speed as he got outside for the touchdown.
Back in the backfield to the left is Campbell. Hernandez takes the snap, play action to Campbell. Looks down the field. Now here comes the pressure. He's going to be hit. He breaks the tackle, rolls left. Now he's going to cut upfield. He's going to break another tackle, and then another tackle down the sideline. Gets a block inside the 5. What a touchdown! Hernandez goes 33 yards in spectacular fashion, breaking 4 tackles along the way, including 2 in the backfield, and Hilltop has tied this one up at 29.
Grant with a big, strong defensive rebound. He brings it back down the floor again, and another slam dunk. Jeremy Grant can run the point, and he can fly. Huge dunk, 2 big dunks in the last
Bullard
minute.
trying to close it out. Deep ball, up in the air, Cram. Bringing it back, Arbizo. Cram over in 3, free opportunity. Look for Rodabaugh, no, pass middle, Weimer!
Ball game.
25-19, Foothill wins it 3-1.
Because this kid has definitely proven that he can make things happen here in this ball game.
They will go with him. Bula Graft on a stretch run, just breaking tackles. The little man is in the clear to Tory territory. The 25, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Knights. What a run, the freshman, Bula Graft.
Ooh, I tell you what. There were at least 3 times on that run that he should have gone down or he should have been wrapped up. Missed tackles there cost La Jolla Country Day as Bula Graft, the freshman running back for Bishops, is able to take it in. And that was a determined run there, Andy.
So 1st and 10. Brandon Lewis in the shotgun. Has time to throw. And he'll fire, and he has a man diving catch. Did he hold on to it? He did. What a catch from Kendall Keys. And that may be the KBC Sports Player of the Week.
What a catch he laid himself out there, and a great throw, as you said. Read it nicely, did Lewis, and really caught his receiver on the go, and just kind of put it out there right on the outstretch of his fingertips. He laid out, and he made a catch.
1-1.
You know when a pitcher is behind an account and throws his breaking ball, he's feeling it.
The pitch is going to be fisted to second base on a liner, and the ball is caught by McGrew, and Valley Christian wins the game on a Cameron Stewart no-hitter.
Wow, what a way to go out if you're Cameron Stewart. A no-no in the championship game. If there's scouts out there, they had to be impressed by this young kid's velocity, control, and breaking ball all worked well today. He had it going for this Valley Christian team.
What a gem. He's going to give it to Tyree on an exchange against the zone, do a little 3-man weave. This is Tyrell back with it. Tyrell's going to go lob backdoor. Tyree Robinson with a flush.
Now that was nice. Very nice design play.
Uwaba back there. Bogart takes a snap. He's going to run the play. He's going to throw. He's got a man open at the 10. It's underthrown. It's incomplete. No, or is it caught? It is a catch. Wow, juggling catch inside the 5-yard line. Moliga. Was that Moliga pulling that one in? It is Moliga. Boy, that ball was deflected by one of the Falcons, and then Moliga, he lands on the ground and pulls it in. What a catch.
3 men in the backfield, back to the wing. This time inside counter to Telefaro. No, they're going to throw this one. He's got a man open. And what a catch! What a grab by Tom.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Greg Cotta with our player of the game, Play on Sports Player of the Game, Winfred Robertson. Congratulations, you had several touchdowns today, plenty of yardage, and even by the end of the game when you weren't rushing as much, it seemed like it didn't matter too much. So good defense on the other side. You had a lot of help, but still, you had a great game. How are you feeling right now?
I feel great right now. I'm just glad my O-line came through and they just helped me out.
Yeah, you had great blocking, and that's something we were talking about up here. We saw your holes, but don't discredit yourself. You definitely used them really well, so it was really good to see. It was a powerful performance, and so this rivalry's just come back, and it had been gone for 5 years, but do you expect it to start to build up over these next few?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Also, we have one question. So last week you were wearing number 22, right?
Yeah.
So this week when number 22 comes out, we thought it was you in a new jersey, but who was that?
Oh, that was Austin Lampley.
Austin Lampley, okay. We didn't have that name on our rosters up here, so that was kind of the mystery. The people in the press box were telling me to make up a name for him. But, great running all around, and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. And we're just going to do a quick headset swap over here. So thank you again. And that was our player of the game, and I'd like to Welcome back, Marcus. Marcus, you got your ears on. You're good?
Absolutely.
So thank you, Winfred Roberson, a phenomenal game on his part, and just a junior, so we're really going to be able to look forward to a career for him. Blowout here, 41-0, but Marcus, what did you take away?
Just the Blue Devils showed their true colors tonight. They, they've been kind of up and down. They've had two close losses. They had a tough one against Rio Americana last week, but the coach said they had a really good week of practice, and it showed on the field. You always say you practice like you play, and it seemed like they really played well tonight. They have a tough matchup against Monterey Trail. Monterey Trail is starting to get their stride. They had a little bit of a struggle last year, but they're gonna get their stride. That's gonna be another tough matchup for Davis. They're looking. I was just listening to the coach's speech. They're looking to go 4-2. For the first time in a long time. They're 3-2 right now, and they haven't been there in a while. So they're just looking for more success this year.
Yeah, it looks like an up-and-coming program for sure. And now Davis High being a smaller school, I mean, you don't really miss freshmen too much in your football program. However, when you are 10th through 12th grade, that is one less year that you have some kids who are playing high school level football. But 41-0 is the final score here from Woodland, California. Greg Cott alongside Marcus Zamzow. I'd like to thank Tim King for doing the camera work and Nathan Schemmel, who did all of the production. So thank you to them, and without them, we do not get onto your computer screen. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. We'll be back next week with more high school football from the area. Thank you so much, and have a good night.